Fuck, don't do it. Don't go live. No, fuck, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to go live. I know I hit the go live button, but I was not ready to go live, in fact. Okay. Now I'm ready to go live. Make sure that's still set. It is! Oh, wait, hold on.
Studios published the...
Yes. Okay, we're good. We're good. All good. Are we in Siege? Oh, okay, let's change that to just chatting. We're back. We're here. We're live. Hopefully, you know, people are also here, but, you know, we'll make an exception. Okay. Nope, shut up. Whoa. Whoa. Did it go to the Discord? It did. So we'll just wait for people to be pulling up in here before we get into it. We are doing gears. I'll just wait for people to show up and start typing in chat before I get away with stuff. Everything looks new. Everything. I look like a hobo, a glistening, slimy hobo, but we are established. Well, then I gotta check with stuff. I gotta get back to a buddy that I was gonna ask to play Helldivers, and then I completely forgot about it. That'll be a separate thing. We'll figure it out later. Where are we at? One there. Damn. I should have put out my notifications in the Discord earlier so that people were aware that we were still doing this, and I completely forgot about it. And now we're just here. We're doing like basic React stuff. I know. I found this guy who's talking about gears. I've never seen him, but I've seen a few of his videos pop up in my recommended, and they're not the same. Normally when I see gears content, it's either like lore or like a retrospective that banks on nostalgia. That's like the two types of gears content you get. This guy has been posting some videos that are almost, I want to say weird, but weird in like a quirky way, not in a bad way. So we're going to go through some of those, see his takes and opinions on gears, as well as some other stuff that I think will be very fun to look at if the titles of the videos are anything to go by. But otherwise, that'll be it for us. You may have noticed last week when I didn't stream was because I was talking about how my desk exploded. As you can see, we've got a new setup now. There's stuff behind me. There's some Warhammer stuff over here. There's some tech stuff that I haven't set up the shelf yet. The shelf was just covered in wires and random bullshit and like a Unisom bottle or whatever the fuck. And there's like a 360 and a skull back there behind me. I know it's not super interesting, but it's there. What else was I going to say? I had something else, but I just can't, for the life of me, remember what the fuck I was talking about. There is, like, because of the way this new table is, and I haven't secured my monitors yet, that, like, if I touch the table at all, it looks like I'm in the middle of an earthquake. That's not going away. At least not for this stream, because I just haven't fixed it yet, and I need the time, money, and materials to sit and strap down some of my shit so it's not wibbly wobbling all over the goddamn place. But otherwise, I think that's everything. New setup, new table, same broken chair, same bullshit, as always. I know I look like I haven't slept in 3 or 4 days. That's mostly because it's true. But there's not anything else I could think of that's really changed, like, at all. It's like there's been nothing going on this, like, past week. I've just been trying to get stuff going and, like, working in some sort of a regular order, and it just, I don't know. Nothing big has really been happening this week. So I don't really know what I'm going to talk about as, like, a prelude to the stream before we get into the content, because it's just been a really dull week and there's not a whole lot going on. Oh, is that as high as it goes? Hello, everybody. Shit, that's gonna hit a lot of random bullshit. This desk is also a standing desk, which means I get to be more animated and move around a little bit more when we're sitting here watching, reacting to stupid bullshit on the internet. And you could see stuff at the top of the setup. You could see the wrecker helmet that I spent far too long 3D printing and painting just for the paint job to be kind of meh. And there's a Master Chief helmet back there, and a Mulder. I spend way too much money on nerd shit. If we look over here, we have the 360 with Wolfenstein, a Sabertooth skull, a Witcher thing, a Dr. Screwdriver? What the fuck is this called? This thing. One of those. I forgot what it was called. I'm just showing off my cool shit now because I'm happy that I have a setup that looks half decent. And then, like, the Lancers or whatever are, like, down here. You can't see it. The microphone's in the way. They're, like, down... Where's the... There it is. They're, like, down... You can't even really fucking see it. They're down there. You may have seen, if you're on the Discord, I found and purchased... No! This bad boy? This is not a gun for Twitch and or YouTube's purposes. This is the Retro Lancer, Lancer Mark I from Gears of War 3, created by NECA. I found it at a thrift store about a week and a half ago, and by God, I have not been so happy to walk into a thrift store for a goddamn long time. Coming across this beautiful motherfucker out of nowhere. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with that. But that's about all of it. That's the new setup. Anything, what's new with you? I'm just stalling to give the stream a 10-minute buffer before we get into stuff. I had some other stuff. I had some chocolate milk, but I literally drank the whole thing before stream started. I need a light that's less harsh. I am realizing that now. It's a very hard light. I have to crawl, like, underneath the desk to adjust the light value too. Not much. What do you mean not much? What do you mean not much? Like, all my stuff. Hold on. Get over here. This is Damon Baird. He's just gonna do the stream now, okay? Not much. I guess I'm not good at this kind of thing, so he can take over. He's really a lot shorter than you think he would be, but he's obviously more qualified. He's a loudmouth. He's a piece of shit. All that other stuff. Baird, take it away. Okay, that's not very... He's camera shy. I meant when you told us what was going on. Oh. I like how I asked the question and I had the audacity to get offended and upset about that. Oh. I'm not doing much either. That's why I'm here streaming. I do like the standing desk, though. I feel like it gives me energy, like it gives me life, like I've got the ability to move and groove and something other, I don't know. Fill in some words. I'm tired of fucking talking already. I don't want to knock the desk over. That is a possibility. Let me switch over our inputs real quick. Boom. Here we are. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the stream in all its glory. Damn. But today will be a more, I want to say more toned down stream, but honestly, I have no idea. I did like half a line of Coke before we started, so it might be a bit left, right, and center, but I can't really say. So what is this dream all about? I don't have a dream. I'm a shitty dreamer. Or do you mean to say stream? Today we're going to be watching some videos about Gears of War. I explained this before anyone got in here, but Gears of War, you get two types of videos. You get lore, or you get retrospectives that are all entirely about nostalgia and baiting on nostalgia. I found a creator who is making Gears videos that seem to be kind of interesting, and I want to go into them because I've never seen Gears videos quite like this before, and I want to give it a chance because it kind of makes me excited to talk about Gears. So today we're going to be looking at some of those, talking about Gears of War in general, and then we'll just see where it goes. People are just not understanding or banking on the Gears meta. Kind of. It's like all over the place, whether you're really into like the story lore bullshit or like into the gameplay stuff. It's really multifaceted as a game series. Let me pull up this. Chrome. Nope. That's not the right one. Where's the one I used last time? This one. Here it is. This is a video by Flurby called Why Gears of War Sucks. Or just Gears of War Sucks, generally. It's made as a statement. Now, I've made videos kind of similar to this in the past. I made a video called Why All Gears of War Characters Suck, specifically. And I've probably talked a lot on, like, the games themselves. But it's not a very popular sentiment you see. Normally, if you see people say that Gears of War sucks, they're talking about the newer games. But he's not saying the new Gears of War games suck. He just says Gears of War sucks. So I am interested to see if it's like a dogging on the newer games type of stuff, or if he's got some general criticisms that I probably share of the series myself. Because let me be honest with you, I love Gears of War. I just showed off the fact that I got $400 worth of Gears of War replicas and a fucking cardboard standee right here. The games get like to a 7 out of 10 at best. Like, Gears of War 3 is the best, and it's a lot better than the others by a while. But like, Gears of War 3 is like a 8 or a 9 out of 10. And then every other game in the series is like a 7 or lower. Like, unfortunately, you know, I think mostly they're kind of dated. They're a little behind the times, and the newer games have not evolved to keep up with anything, with any, not necessarily that they have to chase trends, but like, they just haven't been able to feel new or invigorating in any way. So, I do kind of agree with the sentiment a little bit that Gears of War sucks. I love it. I love it to fucking hell. But I'm allowed to love something that sucks. You know, that's just sort of how it is. You know, I'm sure people that are out there are Miami Dolphins fans. But you know what? They're still fans of it, regardless of their track record. And I can never take that away from them. So, we're going to get into this. This is a short 5-minute video, which means it'll take me a whole staggering 45 minutes of reaction time to get through. And then we've got two other videos after that talking about some Gears of War speedrunning stuff, which I think will be very interesting. And so other stuff about naval vessels, which kind of blew me away when I saw the title. But we'll get into that and more. This is all from the same creator, Flurby. We'll be linking the video in the end. But we're going to get started with this. I'm going to try not to touch my desk because that causes it to shake around a lot. And I don't want to, be in constant earthquake mode. But we're just going to get right into this and kind of chat as we go. But here we go. Gears of War Sucks by Flurby. I need to get this chair out of the goddamn way. Move. Go that way. I killed Baird. Okay, he's good. Is he good? He's good. All right, let's get into this. Gears of War Sucks.
In 2006, Microsoft Game...
Hold on. I don't have on here. Preview to external headphones. Thank you. Not a good place to start. Gears of War Sucks. Go!
In 2006, Microsoft Game Studios published the critically acclaimed third-person shooter, Gears of War. The game was heavily praised for its detailed graphics and unique cover-based gameplay, which led it to receive dozens of awards during the year of its release. But I've got some news for all those critics and award ceremonies. Gears of War sucks.
Hold on. Where's my backdrop? Shit. There. I can fuck over shit. Interesting? It is interesting. Let's see exactly why he thinks Gears of War sucks. Because he's made other videos about Gears since making this video. So I assume he's a fan of Gears. What's my counter? Gears of War does suck. It sucks plenty of times. I don't need to defend that. Gears of War is allowed to suck sometimes, and a lot of the times it does. Gears of War 1 sucks. Judgment really sucks. 5, depending on how you're looking at it, really sucks. Gears 4, it's less sucky, but it still kind of sucks. Tactics, we're now at a game that doesn't really suck at all. It's just kind of underbaked and doesn't have that much content. And then Gears 3 is the only game that doesn't really suck. Gears 2 fucking sucks. I've been replaying all the games so I can get footage for a big Gears of War video I'm working on. Whoever designed that fucking tank, I would like to find them and eviscerate their whole family. Because what the fuck? That RC tank is so fucking bullshit. The fact, I was playing through all the games in hardcore, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to reduce the difficulty to casual just for the tank section, because I just want to get through this, because I just want to move on and not have to deal with it. And you know what? Fuck you. The tank dies just as easily on casual as it does on hardcore and insane. It can take the same number of hits. So, making the difficulty go down didn't change a goddamn thing. Not like touching the ice water kills you automatically. It doesn't, but by the time your tire is close enough to be touching the ice water, you're going over entirely, because the controls are fucking astounding. They are... we're not here to talk about Gears 2 and the shit-ass tank mission. Let's keep going with this. Go.
Let's start with those core mechanics that got such a great reception from everyone. In Gears of War, you can slide behind an obstacle, such as a wall or a low barricade. By using various methods of cover-based movement and clever positioning, you can gain the upper hand by firing from an angle that keeps you more protected from shots than your target. This would surely make for some creative gameplay, if it actually worked properly. Even the most basic operation, just sliding into cover, is inconsistent.
I think he's just going to talk about Gears of War 1 here, and if he is, I fucking agree! I hate the cover system in Gears of War 1 so fucking much. Playing through that game on hardcore, the original 2006 version of Gears, I wanted to fucking pull my hair out. I fucking was ready to give up and kill myself when I was playing through that game. It's so fucking annoying. Mainly, in 2006, whatever. Sure, a lot of games are janky. That's kind of just how games were back then. Now, after playing Gears 3 and Gears 4 and Gears 5... where the controls work how you would expect them to, going back and trying to play Gears of War 1 is like pulling your fucking toenails off. It is so fucking annoying. Unless you, sit there, you have to pick one specific piece of cover to sit behind, and that is your piece of cover for the rest of the mission. You sit there, you reload, you pop, you shoot enemy, you go down. That's the only way you can play the game without just getting fucking frustrated. I hate Gears of War 1's cover system so much. The amount of times, the Berserker is the easiest fucking level in that entire game. All of the Berserker sections. The amount of times I tried to dodge to the left, but because my analog stick, was too far left and up, so that the game, for some reason, recognized me as rolling into the Berserker instead of rolling away from it. I gotta come down. I went to like 100 right away. I gotta come down. Because I swear to God, I hate Gears of War 1's everything. That game pisses me the fuck off. It's like midgets. Something South Park quote. Finish the rest of it.
At best, even with perfect inputs on an ideal lineup, you'll often find yourself dodge rolling straight into the desired obstacle instead of snapping into cover, thus leaving yourself exposed when the roll animation ends. Furthermore, moving about the battlefield by using the intended cover-based mechanics is prone to being interrupted by bad collisions, clunky corners, and even places where the appropriate maneuvers, for some reason, just aren't implemented. That's all fine though, since you probably won't even be able to find your way to one of those cover spots in the first place. At the time in which you would need cover the most, while under fire, your screen is obscured with enough blood splatter to quench Count Dracula's thirst, and while sprinting, or roadie running, your camera shakes more violently than a cruise liner that got lost in the Bermuda Triangle, so good luck not getting seasick. These glaring issues with one of the main selling points of the game led the online multiplayer metagame to practically ignore it altogether. Easily repeatable glitches such as the crab walk, which allowed a player to move and strafe at full sprinting speed while still being able to shoot, and the kung fu flip, which allowed players to escape the map's bounds and gain unintended yet advantageous firing positions, ran rampant and all but ruined the multiplayer experience for many.
Oh, he's crab walking.
I forgot about Razor's Edge.
Fantastic.
Even those not using glitches ignored the questionable cover mechanics. Unless being assaulted by a power weapon like the long-shot sniper rifle or the explosive torque bow, long-range weapons don't pose much of a threat, allowing players to sprint full throttle at each other to eagerly use the Nasher shotgun in brutal close-quarters combat, rather than by abiding by more tactical...
God, was Razor's Edge playing Gears of War for that long? Was he really that OG when it comes to Gears? I have no frame of reference for like old-school Gears of War YouTubers. My first Gears YouTuber I was aware of was like Shadows when Ultimate Edition or like Gears 4 was coming out, because he would cover all the updates with like the packs and stuff until I like learned how to use a computer, and I was like, oh, all of these updates are just on the forums and I can just go on the forums and learn it for myself. And like Razor's Edge, I remember him being around in that era as well of Gears 4 covering it. A lot of old channels are nothing but Gears multiplayer. Yeah. I know, like, some surprisingly big YouTubers even started that way. Didn't, like, Penguin Z0, didn't he start doing... He started with, like, Gears of War music sniper montages or whatever the fuck. I guess it was fairly popular around the time that, like, YouTube came out, 2007. Gears 2006. I guess that makes sense if it was that fucking big when it first came out.
Cover-based gameplay that the developers envisioned. This is even more ironic when you realize there's no form of consistency to the shotgun's spread, and that it has a chance to literally just not work. In Gears of War, there is no matchmaking system to be found. In order to join the Nasher Fest, players host custom lobbies, setting the mapping...
This is all about Gears 1. I don't really have much to interject yet. If he's going to sit here and say that Gears of War 1 fucking sucks, I totally agree. By modern standards, this game does not hold up whatsoever. It's a piece of shit, it's clunky, it's slow, it's fucking annoying, the enemies are fucking retarded, everything about it just sucks so goddamn much. The fact that, like, your only recourse on higher difficulties is to just run away, because if a Theron comes at you with a Nasher, or a Lancer, or literally any weapon, they kill you in about 2 inches. In about 2 hits. Even worse if they get up close personal with you, because they will just like elbow you and you're done. So the only recourse you have is to turn around and run in the other fucking direction, because it will take you dumping 2 magazines into that Theron to drop them on hardcore. I don't know if I have to explain this to you, but it will take longer for you to dump those 2 magazines than it will for them to just walk up to you and punch you. So, like, holding your ground and, like, staying in cover and trying to shoot them from cover doesn't even fucking work, because if they get too close to you, you just have to buck wild and get the fuck out of there and start running as far away as you can so that you can get some range between you and them so you can shoot them from far away. Gears is a series where people have an obsession with shotgun spamming. That's like in the multiplayer, right? Because the multiplayer, you can do whatever, and everyone's kind of on the equal playing ground, that like a single Nasher round, when the game is working correctly, will kill you. In campaign, on the higher difficulties, Gears of War does my least favorite thing when it comes to difficulty systems, where the difficulty as, like, here's player health and enemy health. On casual, player health like gets boosted, enemy health goes down. On normal, they're like somewhat equal. On hardcore, you become a wet paper towel and they become fucking tanks. And on insane, you become a mite of dust and they become a fucking nuclear bomb. Coughing baby versus nuclear hydrogen bomb or whatever the fuck. It's so fucking annoying. I'm gonna give myself an aneurysm thinking about Gears of War's difficulty ratings, because, oh my god, I fucking hate it. Like, I much prefer the style of something like Helldivers, where the enemies aren't necessarily that much tougher, nor do they have that much more health or like do more damage or anything like that. There's just a fuckload more of them, and there's more of them that are like higher levels, like more elites, more tanky enemies. They're not like tanky in the way that like they have artificially influenced health, but like they're just bigger enemies overall that require more complex weapons to kill. I love that 110 times more than Gears of War's. You know what? They're now a sponge, and you are now the world's weakest piece of scotch tape. Deal with it. I hate that shit so much. It makes me want to... I should stop saying I want to kill myself, but it makes me want to kill myself, dude. I can't get over it. It's painful.
And game type to their preference, and wait until enough players have joined to start the match. While this may have worked okay-ish for a small number of popular rule sets, it wasn't infrequent that you would have to wait several minutes after joining a lobby just for the first round to begin.
Start the game!
All mechanics and multiplayer issues aside though, the campaign has plenty of holes in its execution too. Over half the campaign's length is spent trying to deploy a device called the Resonator in order to map out the antagonistic Locust tunnel network. You heroically fight through city streets, underground mining facilities.
I wish I was there for the 360 mic era. I was like just barely at the tail end of it. I had like a 360 mic, but by that point, nobody was playing on the 360 anymore. And I certainly wasn't really big on multiplayer. I only really talked to my friends when we played Minecraft or whatever the fuck. And then by the time the Xbox One, microphones don't suck anymore. So I never got to encounter that like iconic microphone quality, except for whenever I play games with Ben. Ben, it is 2025, and his microphone, even when he tells me that he has a more expensive, more specialized microphone, sounds like it came out of the fucking Stone Age. So that's really the only time I get to feel a little bit of nostalgia. Dude, it's been half an hour, and we're only halfway through a 5-minute video. What did I fucking say?
All for the moment when you find out that Colonel Hoffman's whole operation is a failure, and that you could have circumvented your disappointment by playing with one of those pieces of junk that Carmine throws away in Act 1. It would appear that the Locusts just leave maps of their whole underground network hanging out on obtuse-looking...
It is the biggest fucking plot hole in the entire series. This is like one of the, I think, core moments in Gears 1 where you can realize that the entire story of like Adam Phoenix being connected to the Locust and all that kind of shit it came after the development of like the first half of the game. And then instead of like changing what they already had to make it work, they were like, just put it in there. Who gives a fuck? It's a shooter in 2006. Nobody cares that much. And it's one of the worst fucking plot holes in the entire series. But it's still there. They even have it in Reloaded. But like in Reloaded, it's even worse because instead of just like pulling up with a random Geobot that Baird has in the original, in Reloaded, you see the cutscene where there is a pile of Geobots right next to the Resonator, and Baird just happens to grab one, take it to the top, and it has all of the Locust tunnels in it. They said Geobots were supposed to be collectibles before the cog tags. That would make more sense, at least, if it was like you were collecting geobots and like it turned out that like collecting all the geobots gave you a better understanding of the locust tunnels. I feel like that kind of makes sense. I don't know. The whole story of Gears 1 is fucking backwards, and none of the characters really act like characters, but we'll keep going. I'm totally on board with this video, by the way. I haven't disagreed with a single thing said so far.
Flash drives in enemy territory, but the entire COG, except for our Lord and Savior Damon Baird, are too stupid to try tinkering with them to find out. The cast is then inexplicably rushed to board a train moving at full railway speeds. Except, there is an explanation. Apparently, the Lightmass bomb needs to be directly fed the tunnel network data in order for it to deliver its payload successfully.
No, this is not an Andy Pants type video. This is just a guy talking about Gears. We're not going into it with the lens. Don't go into this with the lens that we're like trying to take down some grifter. That's not what this is whatsoever. He's just a guy talking about Gears of War. We're talking about Gears of War. We're explicitly not doing the grifter takedown type stuff tonight.
Being transported on the train, but the Locust hijacked it and killed everyone on board. I say apparently because you're somehow supposed to remember that Hoffman once mentioned the bomb several hours of gameplay ago, and then extrapolate through the other missing information that you're delivering the data to the train for that purpose. Yeah. For some reason, the scenes in gameplay that would explain this properly were all cut from the original console release and kept exclusive to the 2007 PC version. So hardly anyone playing this game during its prime would have known what was going on up until the final cutscene of the game where you drop the data.
Even besides the stuff of like the data and the train, there's so much shit going on that they just don't tell you about. Like the whole thing of like, why the fuck is Marcus in prison? Why the fuck was his trial like a botched trial or whatever the fuck Dom's talking about when they go through the courthouse or whatever? Are the characters going to talk about it? No. They just grumble at each other and continue walking. They don't have anything to say about this trial being a sham or whatever the fuck they're talking about. I can't critique it too much because they're like in the middle of creating a universe and they're like changing things on a macro scale very often. But in hindsight, it's such a fucking mess. It's very, very clear that this stuff was not planned out ahead of time, which I don't think was standard for games back then. At least for the vast majority of titles. Gears of War just happens to be one of the few that wasn't planned out and was kind of a piece of shit, but it connected with audiences in a way that it still managed to knock it out of the park and become like a somewhat household name.
Developers know you'll see through this facade of a plotline, so they get to work quickly from the beginning. They introduce tons of useless side characters like Kim, Carmine, and that stranded in Act 3, who all get killed off right after they make an entrance, so that you'll focus on their absence rather.
Dev said they didn't know if it would succeed. I mean, that feels like an excuse more than anything. We didn't know if it was going to do well or not, so we just didn't try. Like, I get that you don't want to put all your eggs in the basket and, like, have it not work out, you know, like, do, like, the Concord type of shit. But come on. But also agreed, those characters are fucking useless to the plot.
Other than the absence of any real story progression. At the start of Act 2, you're empowered with the ability to give squad orders, to tell your...
It does fuck all. I forget that thing is in the first game every time I play through it. When I played through the original 06 game a week ago, I didn't use it a single time. Whenever I play through Ultimate Edition or even Reloaded, I never use it a single fucking time. It is the most useless, pointless bullshit. When you tell somebody, go attack the enemy, and they say, negative, can't do that. What the fuck are you here for? What the fuck is the point of me giving you things to do? Why am I giving you orders if you're just not gonna listen?
Your non-player squad mates to fight according to your tactical decisions on the battlefield. This little prize is hastily rushed in so that you forget about 2 minutes ago when your commanding officer died by going Rambo in the middle of the street instead of being in cover with the rest of the crew like anyone with common sense would be doing. Of course, it wouldn't be so bad if this newly acquired skill worked, but it almost never does.
Yep.
All things considered, the team at Epic Games did a great job pulling the wool over everyone's eyes, and made Gears of War a title that'll somehow...
Okay. I don't think necessarily it's that like they're pulling the wool over your eyes. I think it was a very different time in gaming. If this game came out today, it would get fucking ripped over the goddamn coals. If it came out today as it is today, it would get ripped over the goddamn coals. And it is. A lot of the people playing Reloaded for the first time, like on PS5 and whatnot, if you go over to the Gears of War subreddit, you'll see a bunch of people every single fucking every single day talking about how much the game fucking sucks. And how little fun they're having with it, especially the multiplayer, but even some stuff in the campaign and whatnot. It is rough. It is really rough. I don't think it's like some malevolent thing that the devs were trying to ship out some half-finished piece of shit. But that doesn't change the fact that today, in 2025, Gears 1, 2006, even Gears Ultimate, even Gears Reloaded, kind of really sucks. I get that a lot of people have nostalgia for this one, and this is the one that a lot of people started with, so this will always be like the one they think of. It kind of sucks. I'm glad that like Gears of War Reloaded was not my first Gears of War game, because I wouldn't be a Gears of War fan if it was.
How be remembered as one of the best games of its time. Thanks everyone for watching. In all seriousness, Gears of War is one of my favorite games ever, and I'm not just saying that, just take a look at all the other Gears related things I do. I don't know if this counts as satire or what, but I'm definitely just having some fun.
I don't think it's satire. I think it's completely valid. Like, this idea that if you love something, if you really fucking love something, that means you can't talk shit about it in any regard? No, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't need to talk about how much I love Gears of War anymore. Fucking full-size replicas, Baird, something, suck my cock. Gears of War 1 is a piece of fucking shit. And I won't be sorry for that. It is a piece of shit game. You want the thing you love to be better? Exactly. I'm so passionate about it because I want more Gears. When people say they want more Gears games to be like Gears of War 1, fuck no. If you're talking exclusively about like the atmosphere, sure, whatever. The game sucked. The enemies suck. The difficulties suck. The armadillo mission sucks. The ROM fight sucks. The AI sucks. The commands suck. The TACCOM sucks. You know why? You know why I can say this with, like, straightforward confidence? Because Epic Games changed every single one of these features in the later games. They changed the TACCOMs. They changed the AI. They changed the weapons. They changed the enemies. They changed the layouts. They got rid of the full fucking command system. They changed everything away from Gears 1. For the better. So, when I say Gears of War 1 fucking sucks, and it's one of the worst ones out of the entire series, Epic Games agrees with me. Cliff Walensky agrees with me. And you should too. But you shouldn't have to apologize for saying this thing I love, this part of it really fucking sucks. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having criticisms of the things you love. I love Lord of the Rings. I have the full series in multiple different copies of both hardcover, softcover. I've played through the Middle-earth games. I've watched all the goddamn movies and done all this extra bullshit. If you ever have the unfortunate experience of watching the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, get the fuck out of here. Those are needless. You don't even really need them to exist. It's cool that they exist. Sure, if you really absolutely want an extra 3 hours of bullshit in those movies, go for it. They could never have existed in the first place, and those movies would still be one of, if not the best cinema trilogy of all time. That's just what it is. You should be able to love something and criticize it incredibly deeply and not have to feel like you're apologizing for it. That's just how a thing should be. Okay? Before everyone starts picking up their goddamn pitchforks and whatnot, if this gets seen by Carmine Forever and everyone over there that was really mad at me for ranking Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2 really low on the tier list or whatever. That's just how it is. I don't make the fucking rules. Okay. Let's go to this next video. This is also by Flurby. Actually, hold on. I need to do this before I forget. I'm going to drop this in chat for everybody. I'm getting worked up here. Oh my god, I might have a heart attack before we finish. Go check out the video, leave it a like, subscribe to Flurby's channel. This shit seems to be fantastic. And then we're going to move on to the next one. How many boats are in Gears of War? Now this is the main one I saw. Where I saw this title pick up. This was there's a video posted about 2 weeks ago coinciding with Reloaded's release, right? I saw this release come out. It made me think of that guy who's been like cataloging the rivers in like Skyrim and Starfield and shit. I'm so curious about this. We were going to watch this the last time we were doing Gears of War stuff, but it's a 40-minute video, so I was like, maybe not tonight. But now that we're here and we have the time, let's, I guess, ask the question and answer, how many boats are in Gears of War? Oh, let's do it.
In Gears Ultimate Edition, I noticed something outside the Act 4 Phoenix estate that I had never really seen before. Boats. This intrigued me, and for some absurd reason, I decided to search every corner, nook, and cranny of the game to find out the answer to a question that hopefully nobody has asked themselves before. How many boats are in Gears of War Ultimate Edition? Along the way, I counted a bunch of
so we're just looking at Gears Ultimate and not the other games then. So we're still talking about Gears of War 1, technically. I don't know how much the vistas of Ultimate Edition have changed from Gears of War 1. Like, I know they tried to make it, like, super faithful, but I don't know actually how much... I've never paid too much attention to how much the outside of the map remains more or less like the original game. So that'll be interesting to look into. I assume we're going to, like, somewhat examine that today.
Things like TVs and pianos, and I stumbled upon lots of underappreciated details that I thought were pretty cool. And hopefully, you will too. Can we see water anywhere in Act 1? Yes, kind of. There's no way there's a boat in the prison, though. Like, we can see everything that's in the cutscene here. I'm gonna go out here, we're gonna look at the hallway, and then I'm gonna back it up and choose right. Helicopter? Seems like no boats. Alright, let's go check the other side.
He's going through the whole game and looking for boats. I love this. I'm so into this.
Under the table?
And so is he not just looking for boats, he's looking, like, for evidence of boats. This is science. This is archaeology. This is like goddamn... He has a thesis. The thesis is how many boats are in Gears of War, and he's going through and testing each and every little scrap of every level to see if he can find evidence of nautical vehicles. I love this. I'm so into this.
People are gonna think that's a stupid thing to do, but like, there could be. Check the ceiling. Oh my god. What if there's like a mural? See, okay, if I were playing D&D, I'd probably be dead to a zombie beholder or something. You can lock Dom out. Oh, too late. Part of done.
Trust me, if you're playing D&D and the DM just doesn't happen to mention or push you in the direction of like a zombie beholder up on the ceiling, you got a bad DM. It's not your job in D&D to be like, I checked the walls. Now I check the ceiling specifically. Like, unless that's like an expectation you set up with your DM beforehand, you got a bad DM. I know it's a joke, but let me overanalyze shit.
On it too. Oh, you mean right here? Wait. Got him. Okay, so we're
just lock out Dom.
I have been in this room at least thousands of times. Not even an overestimate. I think it's fair to say no boats in Jacinto Maximum Security Prison. Chatsu! What is a King Raven, but not a sky boat? Are we doing only boats? Onlyboats.com. I mean, we can't do helicopters. There are already like 4 of them that I have not like tally marked up. Okay.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna count right now off the top of my head. There's the 2 helicopters right there that we're seeing. There's the helicopter that goes down. There's 2 helicopters when you fly into the Phoenix Estate. There's the helicopter that they're riding on against the train. I think that's it. I think there's a total of 6 helicopters. If I'm remembering right. I'm going to assume so, but I think there's only a total of 6 helicopters. Was that right? Yeah, 6. No. Yeah, no, because he's including 4 helicopters he's including the 2 that come up later, I'm pretty sure. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Wait, what happens to Hoffman after this? Does he just leave? He gets on the Raven. He gets on the Skyboat. Who's on this? Not Hoffman. This is a unique KR, I guess. All right, about 5. Okay, what we got out here though? Nothing. This is a really cool courtyard. Until like a month ago, I never turned around and looked back here. Is there really only one toy boat in the game? People.
I am... Fuck. Videos like this always remind me of how little I like spend like looking around at games. Which I need to do more of. I need to like sit and like look at the details in games and appreciate the artistry going on. Especially like when I replay through these games. Because I'll replay them and I'm like, I just want to get this shit done. I'm going to go full forward speed ahead and not pay attention to the details. And I'm like, if I'm doing a full breakdown on all of the games, I need to be taking my time and looking at the goddamn details and turning around. I just never assume there's anything interesting going on.
The homies don't know that there's a toy boat out there. The answer's probably yes, though. Oh no. What if there's a boat missing? You ask me to start counting like cars and motor vehicles, you got me fucked up, okay?
There's a lot of cars. I'm going to guess at least 100
That's
cars.
definitely an exercise for the viewer. Okay, before we do anything, what if there's a boat in that building?
Look at the water. That's where you think the boats would be, but what if the boats aren't in the water, Steven? You haven't considered if the boats aren't in the water, have you? Checkmate, atheist.
Building. There's probably not. Look,
The fuck am I
there's no
saying?
boat in there.
I'm on one
You
tonight.
can't make me go in there. I'm not gonna do it. All right, we're in the building. And I believe that there are no boats. And I'm not checking each E-hole. They don't have boats down there. Wait, is this another moonwalk spot? Yo!
What the fuck?
I do want to check out of bounds.
I've never seen that before.
Because you know, if I were a boat, I'd be out of bounds.
How does Bro get out of bounds so quickly? Is this an effect of playing Ultimate Edition on PC? Or is this a thing that's just you're able to do in Ultimate Edition that I've never noticed? Gears 2 has gunboats? That's true. Gears of War 3 also has a fuckload of boats as well. And Judgment. The later games have more boats.
Let's see, bunch of rubble, floating temples. Right, no boats. Whoa. Loading in, loading out. What the heck? What defines a boat? That's probably something we'll have to figure out. What if there are paintings?
What defines a boat? That's a good question. What is the table, you know? Because if you say 4 legs on the top, you're already long. This table right here in front of me only has 2 legs. Some tables only have 1 leg. Some tables sometimes don't even have legs. Think about that. Sometimes tables are humans. Like, if we really think about it. That small-ass boat at the dock when you're in Mount Kadar. Yeah, the little fisher boat that gets destroyed immediately. The fact that it's like halfway in the water and Marcus and Dom, in their 80 pounds of gear, 200 pounds of muscle, they're like, yeah, Dom, get in that shitty-ass fishing boat. What is a boat? Come on, Steven, you're in like a philosophy class or some other bullshit. What is a boat? To me, a boat is any vessel that is intended to be used and sailed on bodies of water, whether that is a river or a ocean of some kind, right? But maybe that doesn't work for everything. Because does that mean a wooden box that you're floating in counts as a boat? But it wasn't intended to be used as a boat. Intention is a big part of it. What even is a boat? What is a boat? Atheist? I can't do the Kermit Peterson thing.
Of boats. There are none. Are you sure? Hey, I actually believe that. I'm still gonna check, but I believe it.
Oh, he's gonna die. Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't
All
go
the
down
paintings are
single player in
portraits.
Gears 1 because it's a piece of shit.
That makes sense, actually. Is this Loomis? Who the fuck? You got General Dude, Faceless Soldiers. This is like all the killers in Danganronpa. Okay, dude, I'm gonna be real. It's a body of water. They could put a boat here. It wouldn't be too out of the question. I think
Bro's
we have
got
to
his
check the
third eye
paintings
open.
now. Our kayaks boats? Yeah, absolutely.
That's Roland Phoenix. Are you just saying bullshit, or is that a real? I've never fucking heard of a Phoenix other than Adam and Elaine, and JD and Marcus. Are there other Phoenixes? Are you fucking with me right now? Are there other Phoenixes I'm missing out on? Is he mentioned by name and that's it? In Gears... Oh, Gearspedia. Okay, the most fucking effective source known to man. I would like to see Gearspedia's source for Roland Phoenix. Uncle Roland. Uncle Roland! Nice! In Anvil Gate? Does he actually appear in Anvil Gate, or does Gearspedia say he's in Anvil Gate? That's a big difference. I know you mean the novel, but, like, does he actually appear in the novel? Or is mentioned in the novel? That's different from Gearspedia saying in Adam Phoenix mentions him. That's a real thing? Wait, why the fuck would his portrait just be on some random courthouse in Gears of War 1? It's not the Phoenix estate, it's just some random dude. Or is it one of those portraits that they have that they just sort of put around all over the place for flavor? And it's not like specifically anything except for retroactively. Like all the statues looking like Hoffman for some reason. A brigade general? Boats. Maybe.
We got the piano, though. Piano counter +1. Since
There's
we know the game
too many
a little bit,
counters.
how many pianos do we think there are, roughly? I think around 7, because I can probably think of like 4 or 5 right off the bat. And I know we've come across like random ones where I'm like, oh my god, there's a piano! There have to be at least a couple others. So, okay, we could answer the question through game files, because I could just load it up in UModel and then just like click through every mesh that's loaded.
Don't cheat. Don't be a bitch. You've already started this. You're already at the House of Sovereigns. You're like half an hour into the first act. Commit.
Per level. Well, actually, no, that would only tell me if it exists, not how many, because they could have multiple of the same mesh. Holy shit! Were we looking for a TV like 3 years ago? It's real! How many COG logos are there in Gears of War?
I don't know if you could technically call that a TV. TV in the colloquial sense, but it's not the regular tube TV we're thinking of, because that would be like a more scan... I don't know the fucking name of it. The scan monitor type bullshit that we had before TVs. What is that called? What the fuck is that bullshit? Retro future tech? That Gears of War loves so much in all of like their computer screens and whatnot?
Just end me. There's no way that's ever happening. Oh my god, there's more down here. And on the doors. There are like 15 on the doors, bro. And there's more.
The cog symbols are everywhere,
schematics
yeah.
for the Hammer of Dawn hanging out, though. Shouldn't this be locked away?
You would think so.
I'm pretty sure that there are no boats on the schematics. But we tried.
All his
This
teammates are
room's massive.
dying.
There has to be a boat.
I love this video. I'm so into this.
Okay.
This is a video I would
Metals.
watch, not on stream.
Paperwork? It's not signed. It's just here. They have a draft. Boom. Okay, so we do have a little bit of water down here. I think it's just a sewer, though, right? That's a car.
It's not a sewer. That is just a canal. Dude, imagine if the fucking courthouse, the Capitol building, just had a fucking river of sewer running beside it. That would be fucking hilarious. I mean, it's dirty and it looks like sewer water now, but that's, 14-something years into the apocalypse.
I see a boat! Oh my god!
Boat?
Yo! Exclusive! Wait, there's two... I saw that one first. That's the first boat.
2 boats.
But that's also a boat! We got 2 boats! Oh my god.
France moment.
I was starting to lose hope for Act 1.
You're saying France moment because all their canals are like sewers? You're not wrong, but you're not correct. You're just French.
How many shopping carts are
Too many
in
counters.
Gears of War?
Too many
How many
counters.
chairs?
Sorry, but how many chairs, how many shopping carts, how many cars? Not as interesting. How many boats? This is not a game that takes place near the water. How many boats are in the game? We're adding too many counters. It's getting too complicated. It's too much to keep track of. Tone it down for my tiny commitment-derived brain, okay? My retention is at an all-time low. I'm thinking about peeling apart my phone right now and loading up TikTok as we speak. So let's get to the fucking boats, buddy.
Or in Gears of War, dude, these things are menaces though. So
I will say,
majority of
while I personally would probably watch this video on my own, I could see how if you're not a really big Gears fan, that this video might have lost you already. It seems to be like a stream highlights type thing, instead of being more editorial, like I assumed it would be. But I'm still into it.
the things are portraits. What if we had like Bodie McBoatface, just a portrait of dude? Ow.
He's gonna die?
Will
Oh.
boats break double digits? Lock in your answers right now by leaving a like, comment.
Yes, I think there will be at least 10.
Thank you for not letting me forget the ceiling. There are no boats, but there could have been. Whoa! Yo! They're putting the flag up.
I like how they just also copied the Iwo Jima photo. They were like, let's do Iwo Jima, but fake.
Hey, there are no boats in this, though. Check your pants flurb.
There may have been. I think it was Esfa Fields.
Let me see. No, I don't have any boats in there. Alright, we got Spartacus, but no boat. We got a summoner from League of Legends. We got Captain Morgan or something. We've got Jerv. No boats, though. No boats on this side either. So, we see nothing from up top. We gotta go down low.
What the fuck
Taking
just...
with you, Dom.
What the fuck just happened? I need an explanation of all of these exploits and glitches. I know he was talking about playing the PC version of the game. Is this a PC thing? Is that what this is? What the fuck just happened? He was on the turret, and now he's under the floor. What is he, Gary Carmine? Like... That's a joke only for Gears fans. That's a shitty joke. Why did that make me laugh so much? God. I feel bad about myself now. Anyways, let's keep going. What the fuck just happened?
Dom. He came back to get me. But he didn't get me. Okay, you know what? This will be left as an exercise for the viewer.
What the fuck?
I don't think this berserker has a boat, and I don't think these guys have a clue, because they're about to get rocked.
Blow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Blow. They got the captain's wheel. But no boat.
PC has Gmod, so we use it in every game. Okay, fair.
Okay, I'm not gonna immediately incinerate her.
Oh yeah, you gotta look around the map.
Go
Yeah.
around. Dom. Dude. He just won't let...
The AI sucks so much that you could just stand around, not kill the berserker, and the AI will die. I hate Dom so much.
Let me explore.
It doesn't get better in Gears
I
2,
think
by the
we
way.
confirmed there's nothing. Blah.
You can tag an ultimate?
From there, we got another little canal, sort of. I don't think it was intended to be that, though. Why are there cars
Dom
in
fucking
here?
die.
Okay, that's a train.
Guys,
Not a boat, not a...
spoilers for Gears of War 3, a game that came out in 2011. Dom fucking dies. I love that meme so much.
Sky boat, but someone can keep a tally for that. I'm not gonna. Wait!
Okay, good. No more counters.
There are at least 2 trains in Gears 1. In Gears this. The more boats you miss, the more engagement you get from the YouTube comments. True. Guys, let me know if there's a boat that I missed that you know.
I'm keeping good track, buddy. Trust me.
Of. I'm gonna send my ass home in a boat, bro. So we have a boat rotor. Does it count if we have like the parts to build a boat? You know, we just assemble something. Or wait, no, hold on. Is this for like air conditioning? What?
Fixing my fan.
It could be used for a boat. That's all I'm saying. How many Supreme Performance Formula bottles are in Gears of War?
Okay, now we're doing too much.
Ketchups, bro. Like there are just so many stupid little things we could do that are a lot less interesting. Because boats are
True!
interesting, I promise.
The boats are the most interesting part, because when you ask me how many fucking pianos are in Gears of War, fuck you, man. I don't care. Who plays piano? Some bitch named Verso. I don't give a fuck. How many boats are in Gears of War? Now that's an interesting question. An interesting proposal. I'm in on the boat thing. The boat of Theseus? Dude, it might be in Gears. If... if you pick up a different weapon instead of your Gnasher and a different weapon instead of your Lancer, and you pick up a different Gnasher and a different Lancer at a different time, but you have the same loadout, is your loadout the same or is it different? Food for thought. Funny enough, Gears 3, when my brother got further into the campaign and got to the Dom death scene, he legit ran to my room saying, Dom died. Yeah. That's the first time I saw my father cry. Dom fucking died.
What? It's another TV. How we found
Okay,
two
now that's a
TVs
TV.
in, like 2 streams. This is like a deep lore question. How many TVs are there? Because there are a lot of computer monitors for some reason, but no TVs. You see those 2 windows or like whatever the heck on that building?
I don't think they have media, right? Do we get any semblance of, like, filmed media in the Gears of War universe until Gears 5 with, like, the movies and Jace? I don't know if that's a thing. We never see them use... No, there's a guy... No, I think the guy in the intro to Gears 2 is listening to a radio, because he's, like, listening to Prescott's speech on the radio. He's not, like, watching it on a TV. Never mind. Good question. But save it for next time. We're getting into boats.
When I looked up, I thought they looked like sunglasses. Scrap metal again. There's a dock or some kind of thing like that. But there's literally nothing. You know, we gotta
They
check
had the
tops
internet
of
only
buildings,
for
'cause
politicians.
boats gonna...
Was it like Signal, where they would just post war plans and everybody and anybody who, like, happened to be so much close to a politician got to know what the war plans were because they were also incompetent? Hey, fuck you, Pete Hexeth.
apparently end up there. So says a certain game. Okay, these guys have to have something inside, right? They have to have like a little boat.
I love... My favorite thing about this is like when I watched that fucking... that fuck-ass Minecraft survival experiment thing or whatever that's been going around. Our mod asked me to watch that video too. Where, like, the enthusiasm being displayed by the creator makes me interested, you know?
They have a freaking troika. They have 2 troikas. I'm gonna creep on them from the window. Okay, they closed the window. Never mind. I forgot that's the whole point of this part. Okay, burning barrel. We got some dudes. No one wears vests like that. This guy has a unique vest. That's cool. Any...
How many
boat
bulletproof
enjoyers,
vests are in
though?
Gears of War 1?
You know they're gambling for boats, right? I was hoping for a lot more. Holy rats. They got 1, 2,
Oh,
3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exercise for the viewer.
See, those are, like, details that I never even realized. I never realized there were fucking rats. I know they were, like, cooking meat and shit. I never picked up on that. That kind of stuff is interesting from, like, a detail standpoint. Not really, you know. Franklin has one, but it has a clown face on it.
Okay, I can tell you there are at least 2 spatulas in this game. There's one here, and then there's about to be one, like, up the street. Train incoming, maybe a boat too. Oh, speaking of trains, we got the coal train. Hold on, there are at least 3 trains in this game. Here's the same, like, metal
Also-
scrap bullshit.
You missed it, Flurby, but Franklin himself has one of those unique armor-proof vests. I didn't realize that they changed his design when I was going through Gears 1. I was like, who the fuck is this? This is not Franklin. Also, again, something I forgot to, like, realize. Not forgot to realize, but I hadn't really... Like, I knew it was true, but I didn't think about it until I was playing through Gears 1. Franklin is voiced by Jean D. fucking Maggio, also known as Marcus, Bender, Jake the Dog. This white-ass motherfucker. They didn't even, like, if they're going to reuse a voice actor, they didn't even get, like, Lester Spite to do Cole and Franklin. They were just like, hey, John, play this guy. But, you know, I gotta say, John DiMaggio is, like, the whitest guy to play the most black-coded, if not just straight-up black characters in voice acting, as far as I know. John could talk street slang. I mean, he's very... Every time I've seen him, he seems very in tune with, like, African-American culture and stuff, which I can't, what do you call it? Shit on him for or anything like that. He is very in tune with his communities and stuff like that. And I understand why. But still, it's. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing or whatever, but it is kind of funny.
That was thrown in the river, right? I don't think this is a boat. I don't know what it is. Why is it sticking through the pillar? But whatever it is, it's not a boat.
It's like the frame to a car. Or
There's
something.
a baby stroller. Am I dead? Is this a prank? Hello? Seeing stuff
has a
like this
bomb in
really
it.
shows me how much I don't look at my surroundings when we're doing speedruns.
True.
It's like you get used to the one camera angle and that's it. Here's the other spatula, in case anyone was wondering. Dude's dead. A third TV. Okay, we must have been on some bullshit when...
Hold on. I don't care about the TV.
Dude's dead.
Why is there just a... You could see it if you looked at the top of the screen. Why is there just a phone drilled into a piece of 2x4? Why is there just a landline fucking phone, not plugged into anything, plugged into the goddamn 2x4? Who was fucking around with the phone and was like, you know what? What if I just hung this on the wall of my shack that is literally made out of wood planks and sheet metal?
A third TV. Okay, we must have been on some bullshit when we thought there were no TVs in this game. Oh, another three spatulas. Okay.
The
We're on
Lorax
fire.
speaks for the tree.
One piano. Well, actually, that's two, right? Two pianos.
Yeah.
Is the river crossing thing a boat? I don't think so, but we'll get a better look in just a moment. No, no, no. This definitely is not a boat.
No, that's a boat. That is a nautical vehicle designed and intended for use on a body of water. That is a boat. Hi, Cranham. Gears of War Rothit? Are you asking me if Gears of War is worth it, like to play or something? Or are you just saying Gears of War worth it? I'm sorry, that sentence is throwing me off. In the Phoenix Estate, they have two pianos? Two pianos? What's that delivery Charlie Day has? No. I think it's Dennis. They do it when they're doing the podcast, the radio show, where he's like, two wars?
Is it? Oh, man. It's like a raft. See, that...
That's a boat. That is a boat. It is a nautical vehicle intended for use on a body of water. That motherfucker is a boat. It doesn't operate in the way you might traditionally think a boat would, but if a canoe is a boat and a cruise ship is a boat, that motherfucker is a boat.
My issue is it's not like free floating. It's attached to this thing.
Are the rafts at Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean ride free floating? No. At a certain point, they attach to a what do you call it? Rail, a guide rail system. That's still a motherfucking boat.
To navigate it. It doesn't look like there are any boats here. At least on this side.
Damn.
And on the other side, it's even...
My brother needs to
more
pick up a
boring.
long shot.
Wait. Is this the train we're talking about? Oh my god. There's a train...
Boat is boat. Boat is motherfucking boat. Okay, I need to go get a drink before I scream my my vocal cords dry. Give me like 10 seconds, guys. I need to set this up because my chair is directly in the way I need to walk to leave. But I'm gonna ruin my voice sitting here screaming without anything to moisturize my throat. Baird is dying and being dramatic again. Hold on, let me move this over there. I have a fan. Hold on. Hold on. I'm doing shit. There's a lot of moving parts over here. I'm just now realizing how loud I am when I took the headphones off. Damn. I'll bring up the fan so I don't starve to death, but you guys will also hear it directly into the microphone. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. That's for me and my sanity. I'll be right back. Baird, get your fine ass over here. This guy, he's a good guy. He's an upstanding citizen. Ignore the red dot. He's not being targeted for assassination. He's just a little quirky. They do get quirky here around at night. Chat, go ahead, ask your questions to Baird. I will be back in probably no more than a minute. I just got to go get a drink real quick. Hello, people. I'm back. Baird, thank you for looking beautiful. You can get off the screen now. Asshole. I'm back. I was going to get more chocolate milk, and then I realized I have to kind of share my supply with my daughter, and I don't want to be a complete selfish asshole, so I upgraded. These are some nice cans of Barks root beer, otherwise known as the best root beer flavor ever invented under God's green earth. And you can't fight me on that. That is just objective truth and fact. Fuck you if you think otherwise. Anyways. Let's get back to it. Oh, look at that. That crack. Baird would have drinking the milk regardless. He would. That guy's a fucking asshole. Ah, perfect. All right, let's get back to the boat adventure. We're only 11 minutes in. Fuck.
There, but then there's like, is this the same train over here? There might be two trains. No, dude, those are just definitely separate trains. Because like, look at how it's angled. That's the front of it. So this is like one train and that's another train. That's how I'm gonna count it. We're up to 5. Is this another one? What's going on here? No, yeah, that's like that same thing, right? Is it another train? That's definitely another train, right? There would.
I don't think train engines have to be on the end of the arrangement, do they? Can't you have a train engine in the middle? What defines a train? Fuck! God fucking damn it! What defines a train? Is it the train engine, or is it the coupling of multiple cars all together that makes it a train? Like, if you have a train engine just by itself, is that a train? Or is it only when there are multiple cars hooked together that it becomes a train, as the name would imply? Fuck, God. I did not want to get philosophical tonight. Fuck. I tried to, like, legitimately think about it for a second there, and I feel like I broke my brain a little bit. The train engine is... What would the cog define as a train? To me, a train is basically just a collection of vehicles that are connected together to utilize the collective carrying power of them to be more efficient. Shit. Sorry. So to me, if you have a single train engine or a single train car, that is not a train. Because for a train to be a train, it has to be connected to multiple different cars. A truck with a trailer is more of a train than a train engine sitting by itself on the tracks. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, liberal. Tell me I'm wrong, okay? Atheist. What's your logic to disprove that? I think I am objectively correct.
Wouldn't be 3 trains that close to each other like that. Well, what if the first one crashed and then the second one
True.
was like, oh my god, there's a train in the way, and then the third one was like, oh my god, there's 2 trains in the way, you know? What if it was that kind of scenario? They're obviously wrecked. All right, we got our favorite piano in the game. The one you can just jump up. Woo! And there's a big ass TV. What's this? Escalation? Are we just gonna have paintings of multiplayer maps now? That's courtyard, the big center stairs.
Oh yeah.
Garden?
I never noticed
I
that.
couldn't tell you what that is. Miscellaneous street with no boats. I swear to God, one of these paintings is gonna have a boat, and we're gonna be so validated after looking at each and every one. I hate this game.
Gears 1 fucking sucks so hard. It is the worst fucking game in the entire series. I take back everything. It's worse than Gears Pop, because at least when you played Gears of War Pop, it played exactly how you think it would, and it worked as intended out of the fucking box. Gears of War 1 is so bad that Ultimate Edition and Reloaded have to pay for the sins that Gears 1 made in 2006. Fuck Gears of War 1. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart.
Dude, we have to be stupid.
Barksaholic,
It's like,
man.
I just want to go faster to get through it, but we also have to be thorough. I feel so sorry for editing, Flurb. Piano. I don't know if this one ever registered in my brain. Is this Mausoleum? That map? Wait! What am I looking at? It's a vehicle. No, it's like a truck. Okay, never mind. Dude. No.
How do you confuse a truck and a boat? It's obviously different. But if you put a truck in the water and you intend for it to be floated upon and used... Fuck. A truck can become a boat in the same way a boat can become a truck. Fuck. The only difference between a truck and a boat is that it isn't a truck and or a boat. But sometimes you can have a truck that is a boat and a boat that is a truck. I hate philosophers so much, man.
Right? I gotta pick up a sniper so we can look at stuff like this better. I really did think we were onto something though. Dude, I was actually gonna pop off. Look out the Troika window to the right. Yo! +1 to the...
Holy shit. I was wrong about helicopters. There's 7 helicopters, unless there's another one missing and in a debris somewhere. Is there more than 7 helicopters? Fuck.
Skyboats. Good spot, dude. I definitely did not realize that was there. Dude, how many crashed Ravens are there that I haven't been looking for? Oh, yo, homies, I need like a dopamine shot or something. You know how much work it is being vigilant like this? You think there will be any boats in Act 3? Dude. Ooh, maybe outside by the wretches and the rain. I think that's our only hope, though. As soon as we go inside, we can skip the rest of it. Okay, so this is the same thing that we saw before.
In that level of wrath when Kim dies? Are you talking about the one that gets shot down? Because I counted that one already. That helicopter has been accounted for. I counted 6, including that one. Unless there's another one. Is there a second Raven that goes down after Kim's death? Because fuck.
Dude, are these boats? Like, I definitely thought they were buildings before, but they're trees? Dude, with this one, they look more like boats. Like, imagine this is like the front of a frigate, and then you have like a flag on top. This could be a boat, right? The deck, 2 sails, and
I think those do kind of look like ships. They kind of look like the Fire Nation ships from Avatar. If you squint real hard, you can see it. But I also kind of see a lighthouse. But why would they have 3 lighthouses? Fuck it, close enough. I say those can count as boats. There's obviously some sort of ocean thing going on and like a building getting struck by lightning. Boats.
and then like a dude on it. But what is this? This looks industrial. This looks like a big little like capacitor Tesla coil thing. And then this has like a big pipe thing. It's the dock in Act 3. Oh! And it's the paint. It's the town at the bottom.
You know what? Now that he pointed that out, those aren't boats. That's not even the painting. Look, it's the painting being ripped from the bottom up. It's rips in the painting. That feels like such a more simple explanation. God, I'm fucking stupid.
Bottom. Okay. It's not a boat. How many times have we seen this painting? Maybe we just have to decide when we get there, we observe the landscape.
Right, it's all the way
and
up.
then retroactively be like, yup, plus 4 boats. This is old boats? Cool. I'm just tweaking, bros. I don't know. Like, if you believe it's a boat, does that just make it a boat? Dude, we were trolling when we started.
A boat is, say it with me, a nautical vehicle intended and designed to be used on a body of water for traversal. That's all you need. That's all you need. It's a fairly worthwhile... Because you can't... It's a worthwhile definition because you can't accidentally have a boat. You know, you don't accidentally build a fucking canoe, right? You build a canoe with the intention of it being a canoe. Oh, then I guess the thing about the cardboard box earlier still kind of holds, because you get into the box intending for it to be a type of boat, then it transforms into a boat. Fuck, does the act of getting into a box in the ocean count as transforming that box into a boat more so or less so than the act of building the box itself? Does something... We're getting deep. Does something have value assigned to it by the way it was created, or by the way it is ascribed to be when it is found and put into use? Who am I to say? Who am I to say, right? I'm looking around. I'm looking at like stuff like this right here. I can't move it because if I do, my desk will fall apart. I have the Space Marine board game and the Space Marine Adventure board game boxes holding up a part of my desk that keeps it stable, that keeps it from wobbling even more so than it already is, right? The intention of those game boxes and of those board games, when they were created, when they were shipped out, when they were sold to me at a store, the intention of those board games was for them to be a board game that you take off a shelf, open the box, take out all the pieces, and play the games. That's how they were intended to be. For the last 2, maybe 3 years now, they have sat propping up this section of my desk so that it doesn't fall apart. Does that mean that their purpose in this universe has been superseded by my modifications to use them as a reinforcement to a desk? Are they still a board game as they were intended to be, even though they will never be opened up and played like a board game? Or is their new purpose to be a reinforcement for my desk? That's a tough one. That is a... I don't know, man. I think I need to send an email to Alex O'Connor or some shit. I don't know how to answer that.
Started doing this. 'Cause, like, I don't know. Like, if you believe it's a boat, does that just make it a boat? Like, if you believe it's a boat, does that just make it a boat?
I don't know how to answer that. 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 I don't know how to answer that
I think it's actually an interesting question because of how much uncertainty there is. It's like, dude, I don't know. Could be a boat. Check on this side again. Try to not die to the krill. Probably not. And also, you can go through this wall and...
What the fuck? That's just a thing? Oh, I muted the video. Sorry.
Which lets us explore a little bit. Can I go downstairs? Wait a minute. Wait, there's stuff down there. What is it? What is this? Nothing. I really can't tell. All right,
Is there
that's it.
actually
I'm done.
a thing
checking.
downstairs?
Okay, you know what? What if it's not?
Yeah. And you could tell from that other painting that it was ripped because this painting has that exact same pattern of like ripped fabric or whatever, ripped canvas on the bottom of it. So that's how we can prove that the painting before, it wasn't the city or a boat or anything. It was just the canvas itself being ripped along the bottom seam. Because for some reason, all of the paintings and gears are ripped at the bottom and not along any other side.
A tree line at all, and it's just like the worn out edges
Yeah,
of the painting.
Exactly.
And we're stupid as shit.
Hey man, Gears of War fans, what can I say?
Oh my god, I think that's actually what it is. Because there's no reason for there to be a boat or tree line on like old bones. Yeah, like look at this, right? Right? It's like got the
Yeah.
same pattern where it's like, ooh, imagine this, and then the flag on top, and then it's the front of the frigate. We just need to see that exact painting model again. So we got pots and pans, we got another spatula, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know what that counts up to. In all the pots and pans and stuff, do we have like a gravy boat or something? Can you guys go away? The only...
Does a gravy boat qualify as a boat? No, a gravy boat is a bucket or a bowl of some sort. We call it a gravy boat because of its shape, and it's like a colloquial term, but just because something is called that doesn't mean that that's what it is. We say light years, but light years is not an attribution of time, it is an attribution of distance. So just because something is called X blank doesn't mean that that's what it is. A gravy boat is not a boat because it has boat in the name. A gravy boat is a special type of bucket and or bowl that we call a boat. Because a boat, as we've described, is any nautical vehicle intended for, or any vehicle intended for nautical travel on a body of water, or a body of liquid, I guess, would be more succinct.
thing that I think I would count as far as like kitchenware goes. And it seems like the answer is no. Yo, hold on. What's going on up here?
The fuck?
Anubis lizardman gargoyle things? Okay, wait, we found it. Get this thing out of here.
He just fucked
No,
chair.
no. This is wear and tear. This is nothing. This is not the painting at all.
Yep.
This is wear and tear on the bottom of the frame. We can see it so clearly here. We're just stupid. Look, it's another boat on the wall. Like, wait. What's back here? I'm probably dead. We got pizza. We got wings and stuff. Cool. However,
I like all the dead people have like Chinese boxes on their heads just so that they didn't have to bother modeling the faces or anything.
yeah, okay.
Dom
Imagine
is
an
so
onion
useless.
ring, but it's not onion. It's just chicken. They have chicken fries. Why don't we have chicken rings? I actually think Burger King could go crazy with this. You'd have to glue the ends of a chicken fry, just bend it around. But like, think about it, right? We have freaking dino nuggets, but like, no one's done chicken rings? Is that what you're telling me? I feel like it's a missed market opportunity.
I'm never eating a chicken ring in my entire fucking life. No. Onion rings are rings because that's how onions peel apart. They don't like force onions to be ring shaped.
All right, car counters, get to work. Train above. What? True. +1 train. I'm adding it to the sheet. Yow.
God, there's so much distance
Minus
to
one
cover
car.
in this
That thing's
mission.
gone. All right, let me pull up to the side here. Minus one car. It's actually just gone.
This car's
The cars, they're taking revenge. You can't flip me. I'm unflippable, unflurbable,
I bet there's a boat in here he's missing.
unflurbable.
He's going through it too quickly. Which is more annoying, the AP section or the Centaur section? The APC one is infinitely shorter. And the krill aren't as annoying. It sucks to drive, but it's like in a straight line. The Centaur is infinitely worse to drive, and it goes on forever. Every single time you think it's over, it keeps going. You have all the mountain sections, and it keeps going. And then you have, like, the big mountain jump, and it keeps going. And then you have the tunnel into the hive, and it keeps going. And then you have the Corpser fight, and it keeps going. And then you have the Brumok fights, and then it keeps going. It just never fucking ends. I hate the Centaur section so much more. Like, the APC section definitely pissed me off when I played it. Most of the vehicle segments in Gears of War tend to make me angry, but the Centaur one was infinitely worse. My fucking nose feels like it's growing hair as I'm speaking. It's so fucking itchy. It's all that cocaine I did.
Yeah, dude, no boats in the driving section. Go figure. Yo, y'all got any boats down there? The dark wretches. Yo. Wait, this is a wretch? It's a normal one. It's not even lambent. I like that we're finding all these little minute details on the maps, though. Like,
That's
they
also another detail that you can tell where they rewrote the lore, because they called them dark wretches. Or they called them lambent wretches, but they're also referred to as like dark wretches, as if they're like a modification of regular Locust and not a different faction. Also, the fact that like the lambent wretches are fighting alongside the Locust in Gears 1, and then immediately after in Gears 2, they're enemies. It's like, why are the lambent wretches working alongside Theron guards and shit and Rom if they're like mortal enemies or whatever, you know? It's very easy to see where the rewrites come from.
definitely go underappreciated. I doubt anyone has looked at that. Ever. Okay, so we've basically arrived at the docks, just on the other side of this. I don't think there are any boats.
Yeah.
Are you for real? Like, this is not a boat. This is just like a thing, a buoy.
It's like a buoy, but like a water tower at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of the architecture in Gears just doesn't add up.
I don't know why it's so big. It's like a watchtower or something. I don't know. It's some bullshit. I mean, how many of these are there? One, two.
Does a buoy count as a boat? A vehicle intended and designed for nautical travel across a body of water. To transport something. Yes. Yeah. A buoy's a boat, especially these buoys, because these buoys are like holding water towers or some bullshit. Like they are transporting in one way or another, or collecting in the same way a fishing boat. These ones just don't drive on their own. But is a trailer a car? No. No, I guess boat would not apply because there is no way to drive them. But that would apply to our... Is a canoe without oars still a canoe because you don't have the ability to move it? No, it would still be a canoe. So even though these do not have any mode of movement built into their design, would not restrict them from being a boat. Wooden boats have paddles? I'm saying, but like if you didn't have a paddle, you wouldn't say it's not a boat just because you don't have the oars anymore. Those are boats. Those are boats.
2, 3.
He's counting them. Good.
This question sucks. Should have done pianos. I think the pianos is like a little bit less interesting, but like they're more interactive, I guess. The thing about the pianos is like every time I find a new one, I get jump scared by it. I'm like, holy shit, a piano! And I guess that's the same way with the boats because they're so sparse, but like, man, I wish I could get like a little something, a little adrenaline rush. Okay, maybe we just couldn't tell from down there. We're going up a level. We're definitely gonna see a boat from up here. It's not just sad and disappointing, it's preposterous. Like, I can't fathom why there is not a boat here. And then we're inside for the rest of time, so there's definitely no boats in here. What do we...
There could be some boats down in the emulsion. The Mount Kadar level, you ride on a wooden dock. That is... Well, that's what we're talking about. Do my game boards count as a fortification of the desk, or do they count as board games? Because they are used as a fortification of the desk and not inherently as board games. And they will never be used as board games. I have no intention of ever actually cracking these bad boys open and playing the games within them. Fuck, man, this question's hard. Because if the answer is yes, then the wooden dock you're riding on, that you were like fighting the Leviathan on and stuff in Gears 2, does qualify as a boat, because even though it was not intended for nautical travel, the fact that that is what it is being used for in the future by a different party makes it so. I guess it wasn't intended to be used for that, because they were just on the dock and it gets attacked. Maybe. I gotta stew with that one.
We think about calling these things boats. We can...
No, not until they drop in the water. As soon as they drop in the water, you have my vote. Those are trains. They are connected. Well, as soon as they're not connected, they're no longer trains and they are back to being cars, but they are trains. Marcus Dom don't even use paddles with their hands. The gunboats push them. I mean, you don't need... I mean, what's the difference between having the gunboats push your thing versus being towed along, you know? Would you say that a boat that is being towed is an embarrassed boat and temporarily not a boat, or would you say it is a boat that is being towed because the engine doesn't work and or it does not have any paddles? I think you would say it is the former.
Could add 4 boats right now. I don't know if these things would float. I mean, they are made of straight up metal, but it's something. Well, we're underground now. Boats definitely have no business being down here, and I also kind of recently made a video where I was running around through here, and I'm comfortable in saying that there are no boats. I mean, if there are going to be boats anywhere, they would be after the Corpser, when Cole is talking about all that juice. But what if I do Act 3 skip, but don't actually skip? Let's see what
You
we
could
can
skip
see.
Act
This is literally
3?
why I have my brightness cranked on this game, so I can actually see anything out here. This is another reason why practicing Act 3 skip sucks, because like for some reason...
There is water in the hollows somehow. The waters have their own like rivers and ocean systems. I mean, there are underground rivers in real life, just not to the extent that we see in Gears of War. Gears of War has a whole Hollow Earth thing going on. But like underground rivers are a thing. I need to turn my watch off. I'm getting sent a million TikToks.
It just lags a lot. Is that a car? Have fun, car counters. This is why I'm not doing it.
Why is there a car down
here
there?
where I've never been? Just to look if there are any boats down there? It seems like the answer's no. I'm stuck, and I'm
Fuck Gears of War 1.
cooked. Wait. I've never died. Oh, there is a super easy out of bounds here, though. This is the easiest out of bounds you can do in any Gears. Right? He's bouncing, you just press A.
Whoa.
We're gonna check out here for boats, too.
Where?
We got nothing. Mr. Corpsa, have you seen any nautical vessels? This dude must be stupid looking for boats underground. What am I looking at? This isn't a boat, right? What would you call this? Like the clamps, the trolley, the whatever that is. I don't think it's a boat. Oh my god,
Train,
Paul!
perhaps.
Can't stop the train, baby. Literally dies. I just want there to be one extra boat, like randomly out here in the wild, just to validate me. Kind of like how I was talking about the paintings earlier. One, to let me know I was doing the right thing. Otherwise, it's literally a waste of time. But I'm sure someone's enjoying it. Wait, okay, +1 helicopter. Is that a boat? No, I can't tell. I don't think so. 2 helicopters, two ravens. I saw this stupid.
Where did he... Hold on. He was not retroactively or forthfully counting these 2 helicopters. Where did he get the +2 helicopters from the beginning? There's only 2 helicopters in the opening cutscene. Shit, there is the one that flies over. Although I don't know if that's the one that picks you up. He's got like an extra 3 helicopters onto his count, and I don't understand where the fuck those came from.
Good stuff, and I thought it was like a barge. But that is very clearly just like the edge of the street or something, you know, the sidewalk. Isn't this supposed to like collapse? Oh. Oh my god!
He fucking killed Dom.
I am still looking at every single little painting
Dom! No!
and stuff, hoping that one of them is gonna have a lake with a boat, a kayak.
I am sensing a sense of like him losing confidence in his own mission to find boats. And the more he loses confidence, the more I lose confidence and energy for him. Every time he goes into a new level and he's like, guys, I don't think there's going to be any boats here. I'm like, I guess not. What are we doing? Where's the boats?
Like something.
I thought there was going to be like a really profound discovery here, that there's like an abnormal number of boats, or like talking about the history and like the application of boats in like the history of Sarah and Gears of War, and get into it from that angle. He's literally just counting boats, which has been fun so far, but I can feel him losing steam, and it's making me lose steam.
But it's not going super well. Ooh. Wait. Order, diligence, and
That big ass
purity.
blade.
Is the boat counter still at 2? Yes. It sure is. What's he cooking up in the kitchen? Marcus Phoenix.
It's been at 2 boats since what? He saw 2 boats the first time you pick up the Hammer of Dawn when you kill the first cedar in that canal. And that's been it. We are now in Act 4. We are over halfway done with the game, and he saw 2 boats half an hour in, and that was it.
Boom. I don't think there's a gravy boat in here, though. We have many pans. A spatula! There has to be a boat on this thing. There are like 15 posters. There's a giraffe, bro, and you're going to tell me there's...
Okay, I didn't know that. Giraffes are canon to Gears of War. I didn't know that was a thing.
Not a boat? Okay, they got 3 giraffes. It's like, boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. I want a freaking boat. Why are there so many kitchens? Another kitchen! Yo, look at that dude. Wait, there are a lot of dudes. Wait, what's this cutscene about? Oh, King Raven, by the way. We're actually having a blast.
That's not a new helicopter. That's the helicopter that got shut down when you were flying into East Barricade Academy. There's no jets in the series? That's true. Motherfucker, I was praising you at the beginning of this for your aptitude of the scientific theory, the scientific method. You had a thesis, and you had a way to go about it and answer your question. And you were not applying the scientific thesis to your side quests. If you can't even keep the scientific thesis, science... process, scientific, whatever the fuck, something hypotenuse. If you can't even keep that for your side quests about helicopters and pianos and trains, how am I supposed to trust you with your boats? Sir, if the whole point of this was to find all of the boats in Gears of War 1, where are all the fucking boats? And why are you triple counting helicopters? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Why are we counting the helicopters? Multiple times. We saw the helicopter in that first cutscene. We saw it get shot down. The characters talk about how it got shot down, and we go to it at the crash site where it was after it got shot down. The helicopter did not turn into a new helicopter when it got shot down and you went to go find it. That is the same fucking helicopter. There are 8 helicopters in the game. The 7 I counted earlier, no, there are 7 helicopters in the game. The 6 I counted earlier, plus that one that viewer saw that was crashed in Act 2. He has like an extra 3 helicopters added to his count that he is pulling out of his goddamn ass. And you know what? If he can't get his helicopters correctly, I don't think I trust him to get his boats done correctly.
Just right now. Okay, fine. Before I get too involved, I will do the other path.
You gotta earn my confidence and earn my trust back in this quest to find all of the boats within Gears of War.
It would seem this path has nothing. Some more trucks and vehicles and stuff. I'm just gonna Simon Says while we're looking for. Whoa! I've never been back here. A clock. Yo, there's stuff over here too. What? This greenhouse is crazy. We better check the logs. See what they say.
It's so stupid. It got a chuckle out of me.
Looking at? Yo. Why is Marcus looking straight to the right like that?
His neck is broken.
He
Yes,
just
we
doesn't
are
wanna
at the
look
second
at
Zerker
me.
fight in the greenhouse.
Oh my god, he's breaking his neck. Wait.
Like 2 missions away from the Phoenix estate.
The Jimmy's jumping out. Boom. How come they don't take fall damage? Oh wait, maybe they do, and that's why they're so weak. Yeah. Whoa. These drones are the weak. Yo, I'm trying to explain something. These drones are actually the weakest in the game. And it could be because of fall damage, not because they're like special in any way. Look at, dude, that's a lot of cars. And we are by.
He's trying to imply that Marcus is like breaking his neck to the 90-degree angle to be like, Dom, don't fuck with me, Dom.
Oh, yo, we got a freaking
Finally.
boat. We got a boat, bros. Exclusive. What are those things called? That take you up the ski slopes, like the machines, the cable cars. Is that what it is? I think I was seeing a cable car in Act 3. Oh, ski lift. Yeah, you guys are definitely more correct than I am. Wait, that's technically the next section. Spoilers. Okay, from this side of the bridge over, I think it's just the one. But they definitely decide to go ham.
Did they
over
just
here.
like duplicate the layout of like that bridge, the island with the boat? Bridge, island with the boat. It kind of looks like that from from like a layout designer perspective, right? When they were building the skybox and the out of bounds sections of the map.
For some reason, and we're gonna go walk a little bit closer as well. We are now entering the Phoenix Estate, aka Boat Haven. Oh my god, dude, there's so many. Literally.
You
we
turn on
got
the Super
1.
Smash Bros. Music.
We got 2, 3,
Okay.
4.
Why the fuck? Okay, now this is interesting. Why the fuck were there 2 boats for 5 hours of the game? And now there's just like 7 boats outside the Phoenix estate? Why are there so many goddamn boats at Adam's house? What the fuck was he doing? Was he the fucking... what's the goddamn... Was he the Green Gatsby? Is that who he is? Really? Underneath all the veneer of science bullshit? I don't think they were ever accounting on some random guy to look at the background of the level. But why are there so many boats in this one spot?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 new boats. We're gonna
By the way, this is the section that inspired him to look at it, which I think is kind of hilarious. There's 9 boats in one section, and there's a total of 3 boats across the rest of the fucking game.
from this side too to make sure.
The Phoenix family were Imagine, what was his name? Ronald Phoenix? Or Roland Phoenix? Roland Phoenix just has like 7 little like dingy fisherman boats, and he's just like, hey, cousin Adam, I'm just gonna park these in the river by your house in the middle of downtown Ophira. Are you okay with that?
8, 9. Yeah, I think 9. Imagine being the kid that, like, instead of being super entertained by trains, you're entertained by boats. And then some guy...
Trains are just cooler. I gotta say it. A boat goes over water. Incredible. It connected so many parts of the world. It also allowed the English to go everywhere and fuck everybody over. Trains have been nothing but a net positive for the world. And let's ignore the trains and the Maxim guns that were used in South Africa, but trains have been nothing but totally and unilaterally beneficial for everyone in the universe ever. Alright? Trains are just cooler, they're more interesting, they got more going on, they're easier to build in play sets because who the fuck is gonna play with a boat on the carpet? Come on, let's be real. Trains are just cooler. Sorry. Sorry, boat enjoyers. Trains are cooler, boats fucking suck.
Named Flurb uploads a video about how many boats there are in this game you've never heard of in your life. And you ask your parents to buy you a PS5 so you can play it. So you can see the boats yourself. Wait! Oh my god!
Is there... Oh, it's a piano.
Massive double.
I thought there was going to be a boat in the
Piano
house.
counter is up to 5, yo. Lots of portraits. Ow. This has to be Adam Phoenix with hair, right? And is this young Marcus without hair? Or without facial hair, I guess. Without the goatee. Who's paying the electricity? If Adam Phoenix has all of his stuff hooked up to autopay, it probably just works, you know what I mean? Like, he's got enough money in there for years. Yo! Dude! I knew it! I knew there was gonna be some bullshit like this.
The fact that it's not even that both that boat and car are just the models that they use when populating the rest of the maps with boats and or cars. It is just the exact same model, just shrunken down to be a toy.
It's a little boat toy. Yo! Yes! Oh my god, this changes everything. Some nasty chicken, though. That changes nothing.
Is a toy of a boat a boat? Is the imitation of something as valid in its existence of being that thing as the thing itself? Fuck. No. Obviously not. Because I have fake guns right here. Fake Gears of War guns. They're obviously not the same as real guns. You could never use them as a sizable replacement, even though they are an imitation. So no, a toy boat is not a boat, because it cannot be used for transportation. If it's a toy boat that's big enough to be used as transportation, then it is just a boat, designed to be played with like a toy. But a boat can be a toy, but a toy boat cannot be a boat. Okay, we're good.
We are at 13 boats.
No.
Is this an
Under my definition of boat, we're still at 12 boats.
urn? Who died?
I don't think it's an urn. Why the fuck would he have an urn in his
Piano! I forgot this was here. Oh my
childhood
God.
home?
We now have 6 pianos. What are we gonna have more of? Pianos or trains? You missed a train in prison? Nah, no way. Actually, yeah. Yeah, I do want
Could
proof.
be.
I changed my mind.
Wait, you say the urn could be Roland? Marcus just has an urn full of Roland's ashes in his childhood bedroom. Okay. Get out of here. This is just as insane as like when Carmine Forever made a short saying that Marcus Phoenix lifts 6,000 pounds or benches 6,000 pounds based on the weights that are in that same room or the room across from it or whatever. I don't believe it. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't believe you. How many
Fuck
freaking
you.
bottles of sauce do we got? It's not hot sauce, it's ketchup. Oh, it says right here.
I don't think
ketchup.
it's sauce. I think that's just soda.
Yeah, but this is different than this. This is like the old legacy
It's
logo,
obviously
and then this is when like corporate decides
soda
to
or
rebrand.
beer of some
New
kind.
look, same great taste.
Because, again, why the fuck would Adam Phoenix have 30 bottles of hot sauce next to his bleach and distilled water? It makes way more sense if it's some sort of alcohol and or soda. We don't know if their gravity is different. We know the gravity would be different because the planet's different. Obviously, it's a hollow fucking planet. That doesn't mean that Marcus can lift 6,000 pounds. Or, in the case that he is able to lift 6,000 pounds, the gravity is so much different that him lifting 6,000 pounds on Sarah would be equivalent of him lifting, say, like, 600, 700 pounds on Earth. You know? Like, that's still an incredible bench press, but it's not 6,000 pounds of a bench press, you know?
Sent you the spicy DM. Spicy, you say? Oh my god! Why do you know this thing is on top of the building like that? Why is this here? What's...
Wait, I agree with that. Why is there a train on the top of fucking the slab?
the lore? This does not register in my memory banks, bro. +1 train. That's a light fixture? -1 train. We can go back and look at it in a little bit. How about that? That looks...
It does kind of look like a
kinda
train
sus.
more than a light.
I can't even walk up on it. There's like an invisible wall here. Oh, we have another piano. And what's even better than that piano is this piano.
Another piano.
Let's go. Okay, quick.
Adam Phoenix does have an unfathomable amount of pianos.
Anything like out here? Cool house? Hello. No, that's it.
Shit. This thing.
Oh, there's
Lot
more
of
water.
Okay, looking around.
I
don't
forget
see
that this
anything
isn't
off
in the
rip,
original.
but we're gonna investigate. Yeah, drawbridges are supposed to raise up for boats, but where are the boats? They can be anywhere. It's talking about boats, by the way. The boats can be anywhere. Keep your eyes peeled.
It is telling. That is one of the world building details that tell you exactly how the Locust Wars went. Because the Locust Wars were brutal, but they weren't so brutal that the COG didn't have time to both make propaganda and then set up propaganda in civilian viewing places. Which I think is incredibly telling to the history of Sarah and how the Locust Wars went down from E-Day. Like, we know 25% of the population died on E-Day, or whatever the fuck, right? But, like, them having the time to design, blueprint, print, and then set up propaganda about the Locust, or I guess not propaganda, but like warning about the Locust in civilian centers, tells us kind of how that went, you know?
Imported
How it
meat
progressed.
products. Buck beans. Okay, we can kind of see through the slits. What is that? No, that's just like a thing. They literally have no boats in all this water. They have pollution.
But
and
there's
no boats.
12 boats outside Adam's house. I think Adam was just like a secret boat fetishist, honestly.
I capped him.
Holy shit.
Wait!
Boat.
Just when you
I like
thought
this
we
guy,
could
he's
count
funny.
him out, he finds a way to do it. Illuminating the darkness.
I don't have 5,000 subscribers. I haven't linked it yet. I should do that. This guy's great. I love his gear stuff. Flurby. I'm going to drop the boat video. I want everyone to go load it up, leave a like, and subscribe to Flurby.
Timgad, Central Energy. No, Flurb, there are boats on the bottom of the painting, I swear. There's actually a boat behind the camera at all times. You just can't see it. And whenever you turn around, it moves with you.
Is it like the guy in Fallout 3 where, like, instead of having a train in Fallout 3, they just have an NPC with a helmet that is a train, and that's how they got it to work in the engine? Is it that, like, the camera in Gears of War, for whatever reason, they can't just have the camera be a camera? It's just an invisible boat watching over Marcus's shoulder at all times. That's the kind of shit I would do. If I was making Gears of War, I would do that in a heartbeat.
We got a spatula. This is probably the hottest spatula in the game. I don't know who's tending the fire, but like if I try to pick that up, I will sizzle. Yo, it's
That's the
just
same
the same
boat.
one. What am I talking about?
Oh my god. So he has object permanence. He has the ability to recognize when the same object is in a different place or that he sees it multiple times. But he counted the helicopter twice. Sure. Okay.
But dude, this is such a good angle. Take the thumbnail right now. Boom. Gears crunch. Dude, if we were freaking counting the gears, imagine pour out the box of cereal.
I wish, you know how cool it would be if they actually made like the Gears of War cereal into like an actual cereal? I would eat that shit up like crazy, even if it tasted like shit. Even if it tasted like cardboard. Low-key, I kind of like when cereal tastes like cardboard. Might just be me. I don't mind it. That shit would go hard.
Cereal, you got hundreds of them. It's the dude from Danganronpa again. Ooh, wait, there's some interesting stuff going on. Let's get upstairs. Yo! Yo! Yo!
2 boats.
It's the biggest boat! Yo! No freaking way! Wait. It might be a dock. Because, like, why is there a freaking telephone pole on a boat? It's not like a big freaking...
That's not a telephone pole. It's just a... It is common for poles that carry wires of any kind, whether it is telephone poles, electric cables, or like even clotheslines, to be shaped like a T. That doesn't make it a telephone pole. Just because it is a pole shaped like a T with wires hanging off of it doesn't make it a telephone pole.
Barge, trash cruiser thing. No.
That would still be a boat.
I mean, maybe we can see better coming up, but like I don't know if we get an angle of this again. Guys, what do you think? Boat or no boat? Leave it in the comments.
To me, it looks like 2 different
so we
boats.
have a better view of the thing that I thought was like a big boat. Yeah, man, I want to just say it's a boat, but yeah, it's probably just a dock. Wait a minute. Wait, if this is a boat, this could be a boat, right? Because it's got the thing. That's a dock.
I'm telling you, that doesn't mean it's
No,
not
it's
like the boat is hooked up to
Okay,
telephone
fine. We got
poles.
15. Act 5's actually been lit so far. We got a skyboat. Nice.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? We can get out of bounds here,
helicopters.
and we might be able to go back and look at that boat, not boat. The palace. They came from below. Okay, so how do we do this? We like walk up here.
Is that a movie in universe they made about the Locust? Or is that supposed to be like high irony that they made a movie that's about something that's like the Locust, but it's not the Locust? Or did they have the time between E-Day and the Hammer Strikes? I guess Efiro was mostly fine from the Hammer Strikes. But they had the time after E-Day to write, produce, greenlit, edit, and screen a movie about the Locust.
Yeet. There we go. As it turns out, we cannot, in fact, see any boats or the water, really.
Damn.
Is this water? I don't even know what that is. Wait! Uh-oh. Guys, we're in trouble. There's a freaking King Raven on this. We've looked at a lot of these.
The COG didn't know the hollows exist. Or that, not that they didn't know that it existed. They just mandated people don't go to them. I mean, I guess Exhibit in Gears 5 seems to indicate that they... Like, there are, like, natural hollow creatures, like Brumox and Corpsers and shit. And the Locust just used them for their purposes, instead of them being, like, genetically bred. I mean, Ukon in Tactics undoes all of that, but... I guess it is true that they, like, had some understanding of the underground being full of, like, creatures and shit like that. I don't know, that'd be an interesting one to look into.
These posters. Plus 15. I don't know, man. The helicopter count is scuffed, bro.
Okay, now we've left the realm of science. We are firmly in the realm of supposeds. Don't like that. More restricted until Adam went against that. Technically, Elaine was the first one to go against that because she was doing a lot of research on the Hollow. Until, of course, she fucking died. And then Adam went in afterwards, yeah. He went all the way to Nexus, or I guess he got carried to Nexus, taken to Nexus.
I think this is the guy that we see Rom execute.
Your back how boat? I think he's counted like 15 boats. There were no boats for like the entire game until at Adam Phoenix's house, all of the boats. You'll have to go back. I was debating on whether or not a toy of a boat is also a boat. I'm not going to rehash that. But from my point of view, no, a toy boat is not a boat.
At the end of Act 3 in the cutscene where they're like dragging a dude up to him, he just has like black brown hair, kind of indistinct. You don't get a good camera angle. Maybe it's this guy. Yo, this is cool. Unique assets. Maybe, probably. But none of these are toy boats. Not even the
I don't
toy
count
truck.
toy boats as
Are you telling me
boats.
that's a one of one? Will we find what we're after? Plus another.
But a toy boat is not a boat. I'm going to fucking have to rehash this shit again. An imitation of something is not the same as that something. I have imitation guns down here, the replicas of the Gears of War guns. That doesn't make them guns. A boat can be a toy, but a toy boat cannot be a boat. Checkmate. They found a random cog soldier that has the exact radio transmission to Delta and Control. Yeah, I thought the implication was supposed to be that he was one of the guys at Timgad. No, but that's how they figure out how to go to Timgad. Yeah, that is really... that's super convenient that they just happen to find one dude who is, like, getting messages between a totally different squad and Anya. That's like when you should have killed Carmine or something, you know, for him to, like, to be the one interrogated, that, like, somebody who's, like, with the squad.
Another skyboat. Yeah, like, I'm literally not going through the footage to find all those posters. Call it and save a life. Like, there have been many. I think the tracker for that is now obsolete. They got peanut butter in here next to the lighter fluid. Of course, just the necessities, guys. Funny how you chose boats but not pianos, ketchup, or premium bleach, which have been memes for years. It's because that one day I saw the boats out there in the harbor outside of Marcus's house, and I just got so overly enthusiastic about it. I was like, dude, we gotta find more. Maybe I'm like that kid that just liked trains a little bit too much, but my thing is boats. And I only figured it out just now. Yo, is this where we fight the Brumach? I never realized how, like, super connected Act 5 is, because we saw the boat from above.
The peanut butter has a phoenix logo? Are you talking about, like, a symbol of a phoenix? Or, like, it says Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X? Like Marcus Phoenix, because it's kind of funny. Is that what Roland Phoenix was getting up to? He was being a brigadier general or whatever the fuck and selling peanut butter? The name? The implications of that are wild. Adam, inventor of the Hammer of Dawn, on the side, made a killer bottle of peanut butter.
Above, and then we walked up on it. And then this is, like, giving me such a scale of, like, how spirally and, yeah, just how connected it all is.
Damn.
So you can also go out of bounds to the left, which I never do. I feel like we should check it out. There we go. So this is never before seen exclusive content on the stream. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've shown you guys this before.
Adam isn't rich because he's like a world-renowned man who ended a 100-year-long war and earned like every medal under the sun. He's rich because he sold a fuckload of really good peanut butter.
But I've known about it like the same length of time that we've been doing the skip. Okay, water. Where there's water, there are boats, right? By the way, there are a lot of cars for the car counters. Can I go to the Brumach area? What the heck? Help! I'm getting too far. It's deloading shit. Wait, do we have another angle on the could-be boat? There's like this giant thing in the way, though. Dude, I think this is a boat. Look, because we have the pole, the little loopy thing.
The places he chooses whether to or not to apply science to the, or at least reasoning, to the things he's counting, is getting a little bit annoying. It's inconsistent. I don't vibe with it. It's not as autistic as I would like it to be. Peanut butter cookies? Dude, Adam Phoenix peanut butter cookies with like those old school giant chocolate chips. Oh, I bet those would be so good. They would be like so perfectly like crispy on the bottom and then moist. Oh, dude, I'm going to be hungry for some peanut butter fucking cookies. God damn.
And the shack. And we got the pole. a little loopy thing, and a shack. Yeah,
That's
it's a
the boat.
Through the containers? Yes. Ah, we can confirm that there is no boat in any of these. Okay.
Why would there be a boat in the
Yeah, I'm
container?
stuck here. To the other side. So we're out of bounds. Usually we would just do the skip.
You saw alcoholic ice cream? The meta has just shifted. Oh my god. That we don't do that out here for whatever reason in the freedom states. You're not allowed to sell liquor in like grocery stores and shit. The next time I go out there, we're buying some alcoholic ice cream. I don't care how bad it tastes. I need to try this at least once in my life, otherwise I cannot consider myself as having lived, okay?
By going around that corner while it's deloaded. Piano alert, by the way.
There's a beer.
Okay, so we go all the way through here, through all the doors. There's nothing in the buildings. More water, kind of. I don't think we're gonna see anything. Oh yeah, this piano, by the way, is special, I'm pretty sure. Because you can interact with it. It's
What the
fucking
fuck?
dead. Alright, let me go.
Spoilers for Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the game that came out in 2015. The piano fucking died.
Back up finally one last time so we can go through the level the right way. Yo, secret room. What we got? Toilet. He was taking a shit. Are there so many chicken wings on the ground in the bathroom? Someone was chowing down, bro. Maybe it was that guy. Confirmed.
You tell me you've never got spicy chicken wings and ripped that shit while you're on the toilet so you can go right from enjoying the flavor to shitting your brains out in one fell swoop? Does nobody else do that? Is that just me a thing?
Chickens exist, yep. I mean, we kind of knew that. But more importantly...
Chickens. Let's think of like the other, where you like your coffee. All the animals that exist in Gears. We know chickens are a thing. We know giraffes are a thing. That's a new one for me. Pumas. Sharks. I want to say dogs, because there's like that cartoon dog in Gears 5. Giant birds. Okay, but like birds. I'm talking about real animals, not like the Wataku or whatever the fuck. Or the Leviathans and stuff. Those obviously exist in Gears. I'm talking about like earthling animals. Humans, I guess, count. Right? Those are animals. And, I mean, if cougars exist, can we extrapolate that to assuming that most species of big cats exist? If crows and chickens exist, can we extrapolate that into assuming that most species of birds exist? Maybe.
Confirmed I can't up-A that. And confirmed we have another piano. Guys, we have 10 pianos. Oh my god. I don't think we can outscale the boats.
There are really a staggering number of intact grand pianos in Gears of War.
Real. The boats might have won this one. Guys, do we see what I see? Our boy's stranded out there. He needs help. Boat number 17 needs help. Imagine if I hadn't seen the boat before and then I saw it in
Balls?
this cutscene, I would have popped off. Squeak. 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 He's got a big red wheel too. Hi, Dom. Oh my god.
Tom wanted to show you his big red wheel.
Fog tag. No sign of pianos. I think that's all she wrote. Clock confirmed. Can't wait to see people complaining about 13-hour clocks in Reloaded and say it's AI generated. What if I do that? I just started up on Twitter. Baby stroller confirmed. Okay, so here's what we gotta do. Obviously we have this train. We have that train. We have this train. That looks like another train. I'm about to add like 5 trains. Is this a different one? I'm gonna say +5, just for the hell of it. We're at 11.
I also just realized how fucking thick their trains are. I feel like trains in the real world are not this fucking wide, but like everything else in Gears, it's just wide as shit.
Trains. The trains beat the pianos. Yeah, those are cars. Good luck, car counters. Get to work.
It's an infinite number of them, too.
Whoa, that was trippy. But Flurb, what if there's a...
If those cars are procedurally generated in a loop, like that whole train mission is at the end of Gears of War, you know how like there's that water tower that you see 100 times? Does that mean we can comfortably say there are an infinite number of cars in Gears of War 1? Because if you let that section play out for multiple hours, you will just continue to count cars again and again and again and again and again. I don't think there's a time limit on it. At least for most of the train segment sections. But for the segments that don't have time limits, there is theoretically an infinite number of cars, meaning Gears of War 1 contains an infinite number of cars throughout the world. Cars that don't touch the... Yeah, they're cars that are somehow out on the train tracks, but they are an infinite number of cars, nevertheless.
toy boat in one of these bonus rooms. Okay. If you say so. Literally nothing. Well, I'd say we were pretty thorough up until now, but there's only one more thing left to do. Prison train? Shh. They don't need to know. I didn't actually forget. Okay, so we have... Yep, thank you.
Oh, God.
We have King Raven thing. +1.
Where is he getting 28 helicopters from?
This is number... Oh, it's 64. Cool.
Oh,
Now he's
fuck the bot.
Alright, so this is number... Did we see? Wait, what's it say? 40? Wait, 43? Whatever
It's the same helicopter.
it was, it definitely wasn't 64. I was looking away, but I saw 3. So I think that means this is an entirely different...
Yeah, there's not... I mean, if we're counting the helicopters in posters and shit, I guess, maybe. I've started to count things that are philosophically counting as helicopters and or boats. There's not 2 helicopters there.
King Raven. And this also solves the problem that we've had before about where did Baird and Cole go? It's just a different one. Yump. -1 train. Do I subtract it from the count? Because if I do, we're at 10 pianos, 10
No,
trains.
it's still a... Well, the cars disconnect, making it individual cars and not a train. By that regard, I would say it's no longer a train. I wouldn't say a train that is off the tracks doesn't count as a train, because like how he counted the trains earlier that were off the tracks, and we've been counting boats that are up on the rocks and stuff like that, a boat being up on the rocks does not stop it from being a boat. The same way a train dunked in a pool of emulsion doesn't stop it from being a train. The disconnecting of all the cars is what stops it from being a train. Okay? Good to know.
Trains. It exists. It's just dead. Just like this dude right here. The train turned into a boat.
I almost feel bad for that one
Of
grenadier.
course. Well, we actually have one more thing to do. We got to go back to where it started. Back to where it began.
Yeah. I think it's mainly the fact that Rom was not really an intended character. Like, his importance to the Gears of War mythos is only so big after Gears of War 3. Like, going into Gears 2 and Gears 3, he was not intended. Like, the whole thing with the Queen, I think, they didn't want to mix weeds between the Queen being important and Rom being important, so they just had the Queen be there instead of Rom coming back as, like, Lambent or whatever. That honestly would not be too bad. I guess they couldn't do it if he went full emulsion, that he couldn't come back in Gears 4 as like a Scion or something. 2 or 3 scenes max. He kills Kim. He takes off that dude's face, and he's at the end. Yes, that's true. I could see a DLC type thing, or like a side story type thing, where you're like a different squadron of people holding off against Lambent, and Lambent Rom is one of them. That would be cool to bring him back for something like that. I wouldn't have a problem with that, really. It would be a really unique thing. Or if he's there and they don't even know it's Rom and he's not mentioned by name, but like if you're looking at him, you're like, that's fucking Rom.
Find out, is that a train up above? On what planet is this a train?
Oh, I guess it's not a train.
Yeah, that's that's a light fixture.
Yeah, with the stalks and stuff, you can have some random stalk spit out a dude who just really, really looks like Rom. And like it's clear that he's Rom, but he doesn't have to be talked about in the script or by the characters or whatever. It was like, oh, that's fucking Rom. You know, he doesn't have to interact with Marcus and or Dom necessarily.
That was a good one. You got me. Because I was really trying to figure out what it would connect to, and the answer is nothing. -1 train. I don't even know if I added it. No, I didn't. I never added it. Trains still beat pianos. The results, not counting, of course, the multiplayer maps, and I guess the comics from picking up cog tags. We have about 29 helicopters.
That is a bullshit statistic. This is fucking heresy. You are misrepresenting the facts of the case, sir, and my client will not be hard-pressed into a lifelong sentence for your mishandling of the evidence. This dude, 29 helicopters. Where the fuck do you get 29 helicopters from? The lack of accountability and simple statistics I will not stand for.
Ravens, and that about is extremely loose because I don't even know when I started counting.
Extremely. It's not even valid. It is so beyond loose that I can't even really recognize it as a real statistic. I think the true number is somewhere around 9.
Is based off of an estimate of how many of those posters were in the game. Trains, 11. Pianos, 10. There could be a couple more trains that I didn't count, but the trains win over the pianos. Unfortunate. But the number we were all waiting for in the end, the number of boats in Gears of War Ultimate Edition is 17. 17
I like the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, like the little addendum.
boats in Gears UE. Yo, homies, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Nobody needed answers to any of those questions we asked along the way, but
I was intrigued. I was not as interested in it by the end of the video. I thought this was going to be more introspective, like I said, like that guy who's been talking about like rivers and Skyrim and shit like that. That's where I assumed we were going to be going with this. I didn't realize that he legitimately was just counting the number of boats in Gears of War. There was a moment about like 10 minutes into the video where I was like, oh, that's all that this is. Yeah, this was like a stream highlight thing. It is interesting, though, to sit there and think about like the number of boats and like how they plan out different props and where to put them and how to fill out the levels and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just really interesting to look into that kind of stuff and see how it affects the creation of the game. You know? Where are you going? What's up, guys? Where are we where are we going? What's happening? Guys. Okay. I'll stop fucking around. Yeah, we're back here on the ground. I'm going to sit down because I've been standing for the last 2.5 hours. And I'm going to kill myself if I continue trying to put weight on my feet. The story behind the background details, like Roland's ashes in Marcus's room. By the way, that wasn't an urn. I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that what we were looking at was an urn. But I guess it is an interesting idea, right? Okay, this one I am interested in. This is a much shorter video. This is him talking about speedrunners breaking Gears of War 2, doing glitches and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff, I assume, kind of like we saw him doing in that playthrough of Reloaded. This is also another Flurby video. I didn't realize this, but Flurby is apparently really big on Gears of War speedruns. I am also going to drop this down in the chat for everybody. And then we're going to give this a quick watch, and I think this will probably be the end of it, because we did not meet the YouTube goal. But, alright, let's get started. How speedrunners are breaking Gears 2, Gears of War 2.
Gears 2 is an incredibly broken game in multiplayer. Barrier breakers, crab walking, dummying, and so...
This is already, compared to the last video, this is super stimulating. Dom's Tom speedrun? Dude, that's not a bad idea. Should we do a Dom's Tom speedrun next week? Next stream, guys. Speedrun to getting Dom's Toms.
So much more. However, these are all things that require an online connection, preferably with a bit of lag. But did you know that the single-player campaign is just as broken? The Gears 2 speedrun is filled with insane tricks, skips, and techniques to save tons of time. First, we'll start off with some of the basic...
I'm still playing Gears of War 2 from like my recording thing. So if there's anything in here that can help me beat the last like 2 acts of Gears 2 and skip the more painful parts, I'm all for it.
Principles used throughout the game. Then we'll go over the big skips and all the out-of-bounds shenanigans that are part of the main speedrun route. Finally, we'll take a look at the myriad of other glitches that are being explored by the community. Let's go. Deuces, bitch!
I'm actually super interested in this. Holy shit.
See you in later, Dom. I have to get back to control.
The first technique happens just seconds into the game. Plenty of folks already know that you can cancel the long dialogue sequences where Marcus has his finger in his ear by simply pressing the back button and telling everyone to shut up. However,
You can do that?! I'm such a fake fucking fan, bro. I'm such a fake fan. That's widely known. That's a thing a lot of people know about. I complain about those every single fucking time they happen in Gears of War 2 and 1 and 3. You could do that? Fuck. They piss me off every single time they come up because I know it's a thing just so that the game has a chance to load levels and shit like that. Fuck, dude. How have I not known that? This is like in 2019 when Gears 5 came out and I realized like the little circular bit on the Lancer spins when you shoot it. It's been doing that since 2006, but it took me until 2019 with Gears 5 coming out for me to realize that it happens. New players don't know this? Old players don't know this. What the fuck are you talking about? I've been playing this game forever, and I didn't know this. We'll continue. I'm going to hate myself a little bit more now throughout the rest of this.
However, this doesn't work on the other kind of dialogue in the game where Delta Squad is just talking amongst themselves or with nearby characters in the environment. While we can't skip these sections entirely, we can still skip everything Marcus says by jamming an active reload as soon as he starts a voice line. This realization shortens some of the slowest parts in the game and makes them more bearable in a run. There's a little known secret kept by Gears 2 multiplayer gamers. Dodge rolling, or evading as the game calls it, is much faster than roadie running. This means that if you interleave dodge rolls with roadie running, your movement in a straight line is much faster than normal. On average, this technique saves 10 to 15% on all the long running sections in the game.
I like how he's talking about how it's so fast. And like, here, let me even get rid of this real quick. You could see that at certain points, they're moving at the exact same speed. Like, it is literally like microcosms of movement, which I know isn't really important for speedruns. But for any other, like, I don't feel like this is as advantageous as it's being talked up to be.
It's a big deal alone, but it also lets us squeeze out even more time in places where every split second is crucial. At the beginning of the game, when we're leaving the hospital, the optimized movement helps us get away from the heavy hitters on the street who would certainly take us down otherwise. In Act 2, there's an E-hole that can be skipped if we're quick enough to run past where it appears and blocks the way out. When we get swallowed by the rift worm, it lets us barely one-cycle the teeth without getting crushed, and makes running by the acid spitters without shooting them much safer. With this movement, we can also set up for some cool strats. In Act 3, we can run past all the sires that are erupting from their stasis tanks and run all the way to the end. Once we tap the big red wheel, Dom will get teleported up to us and block the mob of sires that are trying to rush us down. This allows us to quickly kill the majority with a double frag and clean up the stragglers.
Okay, this works like on casual. If you're on hardcore insane and those stragglers come right up to you, you're fucked.
In Act 5, there's a skip where we have to get in front of this car to boost us up above the terrain, but the timing is pretty tight to get there before the parking deck collapses and leaves us on our own. Even when we're not dodge roll running, we can still be smart about our movement and what we choose to interact with to save even more time. In Act 3, where the razor hail starts storming down, we can move swiftly between the canopies, stopping to grab a boom shield off the first mauler, and then simply walking away from all the other enemies until the hail turns to rain. Right after that, when we drive the centaur up the icy Mount Kadar, we can just blow past the majority of the enemy-filled outposts along the way. In Act 4, when you're helping Dom search for Maria, all of the consoles except the very first and very last are completely optional. We of course take the faster paths on all the left-right split decisions.
Huh. I didn't know that. I've never tried to walk past them. You can't just go from the first console to the last console and not have to fuck with any of the others. I guess that makes sense. I've always felt conditioned to go to all of them.
Decisions in the game. We even found out that for most of these big red wheels, you can get away with turning them only about 3/4 of the way before you can pass under the gates that they control.
Yeah.
So in summary, we have trimmed as much fat as possible.
I'm learning. We're watching a Gears of War 2 speedrun strat. We just watched an hour and a half of him counting all the boats in Gears of War 1, but now we're watching Gears of War 2 speedrun strats. Welcome to the stream, your least favorite white dad. I want to give everyone big round of applause, big celebrations. Least favorite white dad, one of the channel members on YouTube, just upgraded his membership to the $30 a month tier of Buster's Ben. Of course, this is Ben. He asked for this. I did not tell him or ask him to pay $30 a month. He asked me personally if he could pay $30 a month to be my friend, and I happily capitulated. So, everybody give a big round of applause for your least favorite white dad, otherwise known as Ben, for, I don't know, is that considered a cash cow? A pay piggy? What do we call that? What do we call us, Ben? What are we?
It's time for the meat and potatoes. The first class of Gears 2 skips that I'll cover is movement-based skips.
Yes,
These
sir.
are ones that require...
I'll take that as a yes to everything. Where's your perks? Your perks are like playing video games with me when I record. Here, hold on. Let me pull this shit up. I actually don't know what the perks were. I totally blanked out. They're not that good. I don't think there's anything about streams, is there? You get to play in videos or join me when I'm recording videos, and you get a discount code for merch. I'll have to let you know when I'm Ben isn't Ben tier. Yes. I'll have to let you know when I'm recording the Gears games, and you can join me for those recording sessions.
Are either very precise inputs or abuse weird angles and collisions. The first feel relatively simple, but serve to demonstrate these concepts. Near the start of the game while running through the hospital, there's a King Raven that crashes through the roof and jerks your attention away from the action, rendering you useless and vulnerable. When you round the corner, you can time a dodge roll that prevents this loss
You
of
want to
focus.
join this stream? Ah. Okay, you know what? We can do it. Let me pull up. We can do it. Guys, do we want to get Ben on the stream? Does he have permissions? Oh, some of these people shouldn't have permissions. Hold on. I gotta fix this in the Discord real quick. I don't even know who that is. Where the fuck is Doctor something? Yeah, Ben's kind of been banned from the stream since we did the Minecraft server for unrelated reasons. Ben, you should be able to allow, or you should be able to join the stream voice channel in the Discord. He's joining for like the last half hour, but we'll have him here. Audio, make sure this goes to the right place. Yep. As long as he's still with us and still alive. As long as he's not saying any slurs, he should be fine to join us on stream. Otherwise, he will be very quickly removed. Not that I think Ben would be saying any slurs, but you know, if he happens to. There he is. Hello. Stream can hear you.
I've been unbanned because I paid $30.
That will be the excuse. Yes. I mean, if you paid $30 like 2 months ago, you would still be in jail regardless. But
but I buy my way out of jail. I did not pass the dice check.
Pass start. Do not collect $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, we're here. We're watching this Gears of War 2 speedrun.
Oh, yeah.
By Flurby. Flurby, I've not known this guy, but he was counting boats, and I thought it was interesting as shit.
I think Guild Wars speedrunning is like probably super interesting, right?
This video has been more interesting than the last one, because the last one we watched was really just like stream highlights, and this one is like an actually edited video.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll get into this. Do you have it pulled up, or do you have the stream pulled up?
I'm just watching it on the stream.
Okay. And then we'll get into this. Yeah. Because I still have the same thing where like your audio and the stream audio are like in the same channel. So if it's not paused, they can't hear you. Yeah. I haven't changed it whatsoever. We were doing philosophy over boats. Yes, that is true. We were trying to get to the bottom of what qualifies as a boat.
I mean, but you like, there's a difference between a boat and a raft, right? You know what I mean? So did you like count that? Yes, there is. No, it's not. Yeah, we're not starting this. So I'm not joining back with an argument. I'll admit defeat.
The difference between a boat and a raft is as pointless as the difference between a bowl and a bucket.
They are different. I'm not eating cereal out of a bucket.
What is a bowl but a shallow bucket?
Dad, okay. Gandhi, my bad.
Behold, a man, or whatever the fuck Diogenes was on about, you know? We're doing some...
Behold!
Okay, we'll keep going with this.
Okay, let's keep watching.
So
Cereal don't get me started. Don't get me started on cereal.
After a small holdout fight, you need to activate a grind lift to burrow through the wall.
By the way, the answer is yes, because soup is a thing with a broth derived from the main ingredient. So, as the
cereal is closer to stew.
What's the difference between stew and soup?
Soup is like liquid. Yeah, stew is like when you get like all like that. You have that broth and all that chunky shit in it. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
The ocean is a soup? Okay, now you're going too far.
Okay, the ocean is closer to a stew than it is to a soup.
You're just saying words now! That doesn't make any fucking sense!
I'm not just saying words.
The whole point,
I give up.
The differentiating factor between cereal, soup, stew, and the ocean is that you put the first three into a receptacle to be eaten. They are a food product. The ocean is a body of water in an environment to various species across the planet.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I give up. They really all are the same thing. Yeah, one's just chunkier than the other.
Don't just say it's all the same, nothing matters, nihilistic motherfucker. That's not how this works.
It matters.
I need you to say I'm right. Okay, say I'm right. Say I'm right.
No,
say I'm right.
You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
okay, we can
You're
continue.
right, my lord. My liege. My liege, you are
Get to the
correct.
other
Do not
side.
put me back in
You can dodge
jail.
roll in on the right hand side of the
Please.
tunnel that's forming to get ahead of the grind lift. This saves a few extra seconds, as you don't need to wait for the grind lift to move out of the way at the end. After being swallowed by the giant riftworm, there comes a part where you have to run away from a giant ball of debris.
It's called How Speedrunners Are Breaking Gears 2 by Flurby.
Okay, I'll look that up and I'll just watch it
Okay.
separately from you.
We're at like 3
So you
minutes,
created-
50 seconds in.
Well, just keep playing it. I can hear it for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or be flattened by
Just
what the worms
you
eat.
keep doing your reaction.
Usually, you have to take a
Don't
somewhat winding path because of the lethal spikes and invisible barriers that prevent going in a straight line. But there are a few places that can be skipped. You can safely cut the corner in this middle section before sawing open the membrane that blocks the way. Walk into the spikes instead of going around to open up the next area slightly earlier. Then, instead of the intended path on the left, we can shoot down this truck to form a bridge that also removes an invisible barrier that would normally block us from running through the spikes. Okay, from here on out, all the skips get a lot cooler and save way more time. Next up is the train skip. As soon as you make it back outside from the enemy-filled facility in Act 3, the game expects you to hop aboard the Auto-Scroll Express to make it even further in the level. Falling razor hails is supposed to prevent you from bypassing this, but of course, speedrunners found a way. If you line up with the border of the stairs, you can run out at a slight angle and make it to the outer edge of the nearby building. This is just barely in the safe
Oh my
zone from
God.
the hail, and any small mistake in pathing can end up in getting instantly destroyed. While we're waiting to heal up, we move along the safe zone to a point where we can re-enter into the game's expected path. Then we just climb into the stationary train car and continue the level as usual. I teased about this one earlier on in the movement section.
That's such a cool skip. I just did that mission like a few days ago when I was recording Gears 2. That's so cool. I love finding this shit, especially for games that I've played so many times over since like my childhood.
In Act 5, when you take the right path to clear out the garage, you can run to the front of this car as soon as the parking deck collapses to get boosted up on top of the terrain. Once you're there, you can carefully walk over the barriers that would block you and hop down back into the map, proceeding as usual. This skips having to clean up the random enemies on the streets and the extra ones that spawn. There's also another way to skip this section, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The next skip could be the most impactful one in the entire run. In Act 2, Delta Squad is searching for prisoners on these torture barges. A short while after we start the barge's
I love the
locomotion,
music
our
selections
barge
here.
crashes into another one. For some reason,
I'm
the
kinda like-
collisions
I'm
on the
rocking
barge
out
get
right
messed up by the impact.
I just got fucking flashbanged. Ben with a good microphone.
Yeah, what's up? My bad, man.
It just caught me off guard. You love the razor hair in Gears? The razor hail is a really cool idea. I am kind of disappointed that it didn't come back with Gears 5. Like, they still have, like, the insane snowstorms, but no razor hail, even though you're still in New Hope and Mount Kadar and shit. But what could I expect from a big AAA multi-million-dollar company?
Not much.
Allowing us to ramp off of these fins and get up out of bounds. From here, we have two options. If we go to the right, making sure to stay on top of the fins and invisible barrier, we can walk over to the side of the Troika turret, nudge off and drop down to the lower deck. Then we can make our way to the far edge, drop down again, this time with a back roll when we start falling to get completely out of the map. From here, you can find the edge of the terrain to drop off once again, teleporting you up to the cliffside that's supposed to come after exploring the second barge. This was the first method for barge skip that was used until we discovered a new way. So backing up a bit, if we go to the left now, we can again walk on top of the fins and invisible barriers, transferring to the second barge by its Troika turret, and instead of
Who knew
dropping
Gears of
down
War
here,
had magic
we walk
in
all
it?
the way along the edge.
The fuck am I watching?
Dude, this shit is crazy. I love seeing this shit.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, this is, like,
Yeah.
Gears of War on the 360, not... Because you can't get Gears of War 2 on PC at all.
Right, yeah.
It's not like Gears 1 where you can modify it, or Gears 4 or Gears 5.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. Mainly for that factor. Like, I love speedruns that take advantage of, like, glitches that are in the actual game and not, like, through some, like, third-party modification or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
An emulator.
It's called an emulator.
It's still running off the frameworks of what, like, Gears of War 2 is, you know? I don't think you can really fuck with all the files and shit like that, can you, through an emulator?
Well, yeah, you could. I'm
Oh,
sure
okay.
you can. As long as it's got files that you can touch, you can fuck with the files.
I
You
guess.
know what I mean?
But it's not as simple as, like, as if you were getting it off Steam, right? Cantus can revive you through throat singing. They already have magic. That's true.
There's
And
throat singing
somehow-
in Gears?
Somehow
What did I
they're
miss?
genetically created, which, whatever.
I feel like I just came back.
The Cantus,
It's like I've been in
the
a
tall
coma.
ones with the pistols that, like, revive the locust when they scream.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember
Oh,
those. We played through the
yeah,
games.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember them. I try to forget, but I still remember.
Up to the barge's big mechanical legs, so that we can fall out of bounds without the need to drop to the lower deck first. Once we're out, we just turn and run up the hill, clip through and step down from this rock face, then, lining up with a certain pointy spot in the terrain, we jump off into
How
the
much
void,
does it
throwing
save?
in a couple dodge rolls for aerial positioning,
Okay.
and then we get teleported all the way down to the bottom of the hill, away from the cliff from where we would have ended up before.
Holy shit.
This version of the skip saves an extra 25 to 30 seconds from the original method. But how much does barge skip save
Oh,
for the whole
what the
run?
hell?
Well, it skips searching the second barge.
Can we do this when we play Gears of War?
You want to do the speedrun on Gears of War 2?
Yeah, I feel like
What do
my
you-
first time playing it, I want to skip as much as possible.
What do you think the chances are that we fucked them all up?
I think we might have to make the attempt, but I think the chances are all of them.
We can do that. We can do that. I think we were talking about doing a Dom's Tom speedrun next week in Gears of War 4. So maybe if things work out, schedules work out or whatever, maybe we might try some Gears of War speedrunning. I've never had an interest in Gears of War not Gears of War, but like in speedrunning in general. Like it's not really my cup of tea. But seeing that there's a community for Gears of War speedrunning, I mean, of course, I guess it has to, right? Like it's like R34.
Yeah.
If a game exists, there's going to be a speedrun of it. But like. I've never like thought about or contemplated the idea of Gears of War speedrunning existing, and that
I
kind of
love
intrigues
attempting
me.
speedrunning.
This might be
think we should- I think-
my gateway drug into speedrun.
Dude, it's a drug, and you'll never get off of it. You know what I mean? You go from like speedrunning Gears of War to now you're like speedrunning Lego Batman 1.
Yeah,
And you're like, what am I doing?
we'll have to see.
In the speedrun lore. Maybe it's better that way. It skips an obnoxious uphill fight to get off the barge, and it also skips the triggers for loading in every single other fight, all the way up to the burning building.
You could skip the Reaver fights. Oh my god, if we play Gears 2, we have to do that because I hate fighting those Reavers so much. They are the most annoying pieces of shit. If it doesn't trigger any other enemy spawn, dude, I would come alive. Like, that would be so fun.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I think I'm a little ahead of you right now, and I saw that, and that's why I was like, I think we should do this.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
if I can, as long as like, if I can experience any, like, as long as I can, the faster I can get through Gears of War 2, the happier.
Yeah. He said a lot of the exploits towards the end of the game cut out bigger chunks of it, so
Oh, thank you, Lord.
we'll have to see.
Thank the Lord. We can speedrun it. I'm like, wow, guys, actually, Gears of War 2 is like the perfect game. I love this game, actually.
We beat the 10-hour Gears of War 2 campaign in 3 hours, and we're like, this is the best game to ever exist.
Yeah, I'm actually down to play it again.
Out enemies and focus on getting crisp dodge roll movement here is huge. Overall, barge skip saves a massive amount of time. A couple of weeks ago, this would have been the main strat for this part of the speedrun, but a member of the community just found an even bigger skip that skips the barge skip.
Great. Nice one.
That takes us into our next section, knockdown-based skips. Now, there are only a few things in Gears 2 that ever knock a player down. Concussive smoke grenades in multiplayer prior to Title Update 4, uncharged mortar shells that explode nearby, and just a handful of scripted events in the campaign. Once knocked down, players can get sent up into the air or through terrain and gain access to unintended areas.
I don't believe that you have access to this part of the facility.
When entering the sunken city of Elima, there's a mortar launcher that's sneakily tucked into an easily overlooked corner. If you rebound an uncharged shell off the short cover in front, you can get knocked down into the corner, and when the collision's fully resolved, you'll be boosted up on top of the terrain.
The physics is silly. I do love the knockdown, like, ragdoll physics of Gears 2. It is one of my favorite parts. I do wish something like it would come back. Maybe not as goofy as, like, straight ragdoll, but all the knockdowns and stuff would be cool to see come back.
From here, it takes just a little bit of maneuvering to hop down fully out of bounds. Now, this out of bounds is massive, but for the skip, we run all the way down past the floating buildings, go straight through the one that's at the top of this hill, clip our way into the burning building.
It is funny because all of the out of bounds stuff in Gears of War just looks like Expedition 33. It just has that style of like how Expedition 33 has all the buildings like kind of like slanted and like off in the distance and shit like that. That's just sort of what Gears of War 2 out of bounds begins to look like.
And run to this exact spot by the broken windows so that the game loads a slope so that we can keep walking out. Once we walk out far enough, the game will now deload the slope, causing us to fall down, jitter around a little bit, and then teleport us back into the map. This conveniently places us next to the stairs of the building that we run to at the end of barge skip. Whoa. Overall, this skips the long, eventless run after the barge skip, the stand still, do nothing, holdout fight where you reunite with Cole, and even rescuing Baird from the Iron Maiden. Someone will have to go back for him too. This is an insane find, and it definitely opens up my last world record.
Guys, I think I gotta...
The record is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Do you think we could even crack 3 hours?
I think so.
That was a lot of steps. The Alima skip. So that skips even all the bullshit he did with the barge. So we don't even have to do the complicated barge bullshit. Because we can do that skip, which skips all of the barge stuff as well.
There you go. Now you can get rid of me. Yeah.
Whoa. Wait, what was that?
Now I'm giving you more money.
What? Why?
Dude,
You subscribed to Tier 1 on Twitch? The
Dude,
fuck?
of course.
First Twitch sub. Everybody shout out Yogurt Mans with a Z for subscribing to Twitch for 3 months in advance.
Dude, that's me.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, he's stuck here. Oh, no. Fuck.
No. Wherever shall I go? Single-handedly. Yeah.
Keeping the stream alive. Keeping the lights on. Oh, man. It's an easy way into my heart. Money.
Yeah, money. Oh, I gotta go take a look at the merch shop. Hold on.
Yeah. Go take a look, see what you want to get, and I'll give you a discount code afterwards.
Discount code. Oh, yeah.
Not a piece of merch, a discount code for the
A
merch.
discount code.
Okay. Let's keep going.
No, that's just a TikTok.
Yeah, the
My
merch
bad.
is the spring store.
Oh, was that the visit store? Okay.
Speedrunning like this requires studying? No, we can do it live. I think we can figure it out.
I think we could do it live. I think
if one of us is, if you're
is me
studying
watching
it,
the video.
if you're studying it and I'm performing it, I think we can do it.
Guys, don't worry. A large hoodie from Buster McTunder. It's only $56.
It's a really good quality hoodie, though. Don't look at the one that's $100.
Yeah, I just saw that one. Should I get that one?
But is it $50 Canadian?
Yeah, I think it's probably more. Yeah,
Yeah.
should I work at like 50 hours of overtime next week so I can buy one of the gold sweaters?
That is just mainly because you want it to be going to charity.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That is the point of it being so overpriced.
Also, I just like spending really stupid money.
Well, it's going to a good
Yeah.
place. It's going to a food bank, so...
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh, we'll continue with
Not
this.
buying it anymore.
This
I'll
guy...
continue. I want to keep watching.
For contention. There's one more skip that's been found with the help of mortar knockdowns, but it also requires the next method of skips. Act 4 introduces us to boom shields, large metal shields that can be planted into the ground as a kind of mobile cover. When planted next to certain walls in the game, we can climb over the shield to penetrate through the wall and get to the other side. In Act 4, there's this huge
Guys, should I get
room
it? I'm
with
gonna.
maulers,
No,
therons, and
don't
more.
pause the video. I'm talking
Do
to
what?
myself.
Oh.
Nothing.
Usually, we have to kill everything in this room to gain access to the elevator and proceed to
much
the lower
money do
level.
I have?
If we quickly steal a boom shield off of one of the maulers, we can place it on the edge of the elevator shaft and just jump down. Once we're down here, we would normally be blocked by this fence until we kill the enemies that spawn to guard the area.
Can you skip the fence with a boom shield? Those fences suck so much cock. Dude, if I can do that...
And you?
I think so. I think that's what he's about to show us. Oh, dude.
I'm so much further ahead of you. My bad.
Are you just letting the video play in the background?
Yeah, she's been watching the video while we've been talking.
Problem is, they don't spawn because
For
by
Canada
not
was a nice
activating the
band. I'm not
elevator, we
from the
miss
part of
trigger
Canada
that's
that's
supposed to be-
nice.
Yeah, you're like from like the... I'll hold back on that one.
Yeah.
We can continue with the video.
It's crazy because I knew exactly where you were going with that.
All I gotta say, Jericho Podcast. All I gotta shout out to that flat earther and everything else, whatever he stands for, that I don't agree with, but
You're real shit. Well, the liberals.
something atheist, liberal, whatever. Just Bill Maher. I don't know. All right, let's keep going.
in a minute. Here's where the mortars come into play. We can grab the mortar launcher on the upper path, walk down and rebound a shot off the wall, and try to
Where are
angle a
we right
knockdown
now?
straight through the fence.
Okay.
We can
We're about
I'm at
roughly at the same spot as you are.
931. Yeah.
Yeah.
continue the run as usual, just without our teammates for a bit. Now, it's hard to say how much time
I
this
can't,
hap-
hold on. Can't I stream this to you on Discord? Will that fuck it up? Didn't we try that before? Or didn't
No,
we do
yeah,
that?
you did stream it to me. Yeah. And we like did the whole thing. Remember I like bitched and moaned about that the one day and you're like, fine, I guess I'll do it. You know what I mean? You can stream it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, guys, next couple of weeks, just so we know, next paycheck, I am buying a Nexus nightshirt and I will
There we
model
go.
it.
Can you see it?
I will. Yes, I can.
So
I will be
see
sending
much of
pictures
me.
of me in a Nexus nightshirt.
Okay.
Because
That works. Oh, there is a Nexus Knights one. I've heard about that one to support the stream.
yeah,
I thought you would get the gay one, but that one also works.
I feel like I'm gonna get them all. I have to collect them all. Now.
Pokemon. That'll be a hell of a bonus for the charities, but
Could you imagine? You'll get a picture one day and it's just me surrounded by every single piece of Buster McDunder merch.
oh,
I am your pay pig. You whale.
oh man, it would be very funny to see.
I'm giving you $60 in the span of a day.
Jesus fucking Christ!
That's crazy. It's so worth
Plus a
it. though.
Twitch sub.
Plus, well, that is the Twitch sub, yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
YouTube
Oh,
membership.
okay.
Yeah, because I subbed for 3 months, so it was like $30.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Dude, it's still there. I did work like 20, 30 hours of overtime. So
I mean-
last week alone. So
That's good, I
Whatever.
guess.
yeah, yeah. Dude,
Oh.
I'm just like, I'm paying my way to be here. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll keep
What's,
going with it. We're at
please?
9:36. Well, I'm streaming
yeah.
it to you on Discord.
They're streaming it actually. Yeah.
actually saves. The lineup to get through the fence is a bit tricky, and jumping down the elevator shaft is actually very risky as the enemies upstairs absolutely slap. But if someone were to hit this in a full run first try, with good luck above, it might save a minute or two. After we help Dom find Maria, there's a fight with a bunch of enemies at the top of this short tower.
I don't know if shaving like a minute off the run is that important, because when he showed the
But it is.
leaderboard,
It is,
like
though.
the third place was 3 hours and 20 minutes, and the first place was 2 hours and 45 minutes. So there was like a solid
Well-
45 minutes of
Well,
time.
I
there.
feel like
I feel like
like-
you don't need to. If you are already shaving off like 15 minutes, that extra 1 or 2 minutes isn't really going
Are
to be slowing
you-
you down.
Are you like big into the speedrunning community?
Not really, no. Like I know it's important for them, like
yeah, a
to
lot
be getting
of
to
this
the top rank. But like what I'm saying is that like with Gears of War's speedrunning community,
Yeah.
it's not as like cutthroat competitive. You know, it's not like
Well, I don't
the
think
top
it's-
3 leaderboard scores are like within a minute
True.
of each other. You know what I mean?
But I think-
They're
I
like
think
there's
for
like a
me-
half-hour difference between them.
I think for me, it's like it's about like the like you know who Summoning Salt is. Yeah.
Yes, I have seen his
did,
video
like,
on Mario
on, like-
Sunshine or whatever.
On the Mario one where it's like the human limit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, right? And I think that's like also a large part of the speedrunning community. It's how
it's like
you know?
physically doing it.
how physically, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a large part of it. It's not even being on top. It's like I think that's definitely a bonus.
Like
know what I mean?
physically doing it to the point of being on top.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
physically pointing, you can go like, this is the limit.
Yeah.
Like only like maybe like a TAS could like beat me.
But
in
like,
this.
are we
You know what I
trying
mean?
to be number 1 or are we trying to be on the leaderboard?
Well, that's always the question, right? And I guess it depends on the person. Yeah.
If
Some
I can
people
get
just
on-
love
if
the
we
game
can do
though.
sub 3 hours, I'm happy.
Dude, yes, more like sub 30 because we'll keep restarting trying to achieve it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll be here for 30 hours. And eventually we'll finally do it, but was it worth it?
Subathon, Gears of
know?
War 2 speed run.
Speedrunning, except you don't have to donate for it to keep going. We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
We're not gonna stop.
Not a subathon, we just hate ourselves.
Real shit. Real shit.
still
By the way, I
curi-
cannot hear your stream coming through like Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've just been kind of ad
I
libbing
can't
it.
I can't fix that, so
Yeah, no, I'm not.
we can
worried
turn on
about it, don't
captions. I probably should have had them on to begin with.
worry. Dude, captions are awesome.
I'm still curious how the Locust built all this stuff so fast in under 100 years. Palace feels complicated in design. See, the thing
Well,
is,
speedrunning.
The original lore was not that the Locust only existed for 100 years, but Gears 5 and Gears Tactics ruined that.
Well, what was the original lore?
The original lore from, like, it was never set in stone, but, like, the biggest fan theories pointed to the Locust kind of existing for at least hundreds of years. And, like, some of the more humanoid Locusts, like the drones and grenadiers and stuff, those came from the experiments at New Hope, and they kind of came and, like, joined together with the more bestial Locusts, like how you have Corpsers and Cantus and shit like that. And they kind of all came together in the society. Gears 5 and Gears Tactics changed that so that every single Locust you see, including like the Brumaux and Corpsers, are creations of like Locust genetic scientists that like existed 50 years before E-Day happened. So according to Gears 5 and Gears Tactics, all of like the temples and stuff you see in Gears 2, their giant fucking palace and shit, was built in 50 years while they were fighting a civil war.
So did they just like fuck with the game files?
Not
They emulated that shit in?
No. They didn't retroactively change it. It's like a lore thing, not like a game thing that happened. Like
I
this
meant
the
like the
developers.
Like the Locust like sped run the game and
Yeah.
they broke the files and they like glitched through the stuff to like build the temples.
Shit, maybe. You were lowballing it? No, it's around 50 years because we know Sid was at New Hope when it got shut down and he knew Ukon. And Sid is alive in Tactics, which is like a year after E-Day. It has to be within, like, he's not older than like 70 at most, you know? Like, that is absolutely maximum.
But what's the average lifespan for whatever these guys are called?
A human on Sarah?
Yeah. Who the fuck is Sarah?
The planet that Gears of War takes place on.
Oh.
We've talked about
What's, like, the
Gears of
average
War
lifespan?
for years, and you still like fail to grasp like the most simple lore going on here. Imagine like we were talking about Fallout, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, like the super mutants," and you were like, "What is a super mutant?" You know?
Yeah, and I'm like a big Fallout fan, and I like have like these brain rot moments where I'm like, who is dog meat?
Yeah. Is dog meat like a steak or?
Because like I'm kind of hungry.
Imagine that was an option. You could just like kill him and eat him.
That'd be awful.
It
I
should-
would do it. Not.
It should be an option for like the evil run.
Should
You
be an
know?
option. I think it should be the option. Not you can't eat dog meat, but you can eat Preston.
That feels motivated somehow. You know. That. I'm just saying.
Just what about Iron Man's gauntlets? Dude, Tony Stark made that in a cave. Okay, it can't be that hard.
Stuff like this isn't easy. Yeah, but Iron Man has stupid comic book intelligence bullshit.
Iron Man, Tony Stark made that in a cave. With nothing.
He made it in a cave with like the scraps being nuclear missiles that he designed from his company.
Yeah. He built it. How does that quote go? Tony Stark built it in a cave.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah.
I'm Jeremy Irons. You know?
It takes teams to make these gauntless fingers move.
Not according to Tony Stark. Eat shit, liberal.
It's dark humor, liberal. Oh,
I'm the woker, baby.
So you brought me back to the the Gears of War, like the you know the one that we got kicked out of? Remember that?
The original Nexus Knights
and
thing.
I was like posting memes about like it's called dark humor, liberal.
Yeah,
and like the Sonic feet thing.
God, it was so dumb. It's such a cursed era of the Buster McTunder content paradise.
And then they banned me due to association with you, and then that's how we got here.
Yeah, you didn't even break the rules of the. I didn't even break the rules of the forums, to be honest with you.
Well,
But
my favorite, like, who's like Kaz or something, like, messaged me in the
Kazuya?
server going, I know you're better than that. After the Sonic feet thing, and I'm like, you don't know me. And trust me, anybody that does knows I'm not better than that.
yeah, I'm very well aware.
Yeah.
We could
Yeah.
push forward with this, so we're not just like
Yeah, let's
talking
push
about
forward.
2-year-old inside baseball memes at this point.
Has it been that long?
Close to it, yeah. I started Nexus Knights and doing that in like 2023.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was like summer of
been a while.
2023.
That's crazy.
I know, right? All right, we'll keep
God.
going.
Yeah.
And strong reinforcements that follow up. We can instead run to the door where the reinforcements come from and jump through completely free. Early in the video, we talked about the movement-based version of skipping a fight right after the Act 5 parking garage. There's also a method for this using the boom shield. Normally, you can't climb over cover while holding a boom shield. This means we shouldn't be able to carry a boom shield past this point, but we can actually plant our shield through the fence on the side and pick it up after dealing with the enemies. Once we have our shield again, we wait for the parking deck to collapse and simply plant our shield through the barrier to jump through to the other side. Continuing on from here, we immediately set up for another massive
So the boom shield can just be used to navigate over the top of most barriers.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me though.
I don't know why I've never even tried that. This is like the thing, like when it comes to speedrunning, like I just do not have my brain wired to think about like these kind of exploits, you know?
Yeah, no, because my brain is very much wired as a Destiny player, and it all started from how can I get my Sparrow in a place it's not supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ever since there, it's been a downhill slope. You know what I mean? Of what other shit can I pull? You know what I mean?
What holes can I shove my Sparrow down into, you know?
It's like me with vehicles. Yeah, exactly, right? Like clearly there's a big ledge here. I'm not supposed to get it up, but I will find a way.
Yeah.
You know? But it's kind of like me with cars too, like
well, it's like all the cars in Halo and stuff trying to like squeeze them through the tunnels into the next section.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I get that.
and I think it all starts from there, right? You know what I mean? Because I feel like the best way.
Did Half-Life have vehicles? Was that a thing in Half-Life? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. No.
So was Halo the first game that did that? Like Halo 2, I think.
I would say it's the first popular game that did that.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't say like the first, obviously, because it's hard to pinpoint.
There's always some random fucking student at UCLA or some bullshit that like made a game that did it first, but nobody gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you did it first. I care about who did it first correctly. Does anyone give a shit about Nabacular Drop?
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Exactly! Exactly! That is the game that the Portal developers created before Portal.
No, nobody cares about Nabacular.
Exactly! I don't give a shit about Nabacular Drop. I care about it from like a historical lens, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't care about it, you know?
You know, there's like that dog shit. It's kind of like how my point in that argument is a lot of like Wolfenstein for some people.
Yeah, people didn't give a shit about. People didn't care about Wolfenstein until the new games came around, but like from Wolfenstein 3D to Doom, nobody gave a shit about Wolfenstein.
Yeah, but Wolfenstein walked so Doom could run in almost every way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? And that's like, and I agree with that. Like, I don't give a fuck about the first Wolfenstein game. You know what I mean? Right? I like the new ones, but I could care. Nobody does, right? But without Wolfenstein, we would not have Doom. So like, I care about it in a historical aspect.
Historical lens, sure, yeah. But who gives a shit? Like, come on.
But who gives a shit?
Nerd?
I'm gonna play my favorite game,
Wolfenstein 3D. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, nerd, liberal, woke shill, atheist. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, so real.
Oh, we'll move on.
Isn't Andy Pants that super politically correct guy? I thought.
Yeah, something like that.
He's like,
I think
Jesus.
The last time we watched one of his videos, he said that women are inherently worse at coding than men.
You were telling me about that, like his daughters and everything.
Yeah, he said his daughter would have to work twice as hard to be as good of a game developer as like as Pirate Software, I guess.
That's a crazy comparison. What I hear, he doesn't even code his own games.
That's what I'm saying.
I think speaking of Wolfenstein,
they're making a TV series on Amazon. Didn't Amazon already do Man in the High Castle? Isn't that just Wolfenstein without like the diesel pump shit going on?
I can't wait for them to like somehow fuck Wolfenstein up.
I think Amazon does a decent job with all their stuff, though.
I think so too. But Wolfenstein's one of the things that.
Well, I was going to say that, but then there was like the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, and Wolfenstein really goes like heavy into the Nazi thing.
Well, they did Man in the High Castle. That was like one of the first series they did. I haven't watched it. I don't know how good it is, but I know that's one of the first because it made me think of Wolfenstein because it's like the same thing where it's like Nazis winning World War II. I just don't think it's as like sci-fi.
Yeah, because I think
Mass
the thing
Effect
that I
TV series. That's rough.
oh wow, that just play Mass Effect.
Yeah, just Mass Effect
Like-
1's kind of rough, but just play Mass Effect.
Just if you want a Mass Effect TV series, just
They are
play
making a
Mass
sequel. They
Effect.
are supposedly still working on Mass Effect 4,
Dude,
which
I can't wait for
continues with
Andromeda.
Shepard.
I can't wait for Andromeda too.
But it's not Andromeda. Like, Andromeda was like a new story. Mass Effect 4 is like continuing Shepard's story.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I feel like somehow is crazy. I feel like Wolfenstein it's got to be a hard thing to do though, right?
It's got to be
They,
very
like,
effects
really-
heavy to get like the vibe down, I feel.
But also but you also really had to be not at all afraid to dig into the Nazi thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which
like
it-
in a general like
It's weird that somehow in like going from 2015 when like the Wolfenstein games were like really popping off to 2025, it's somehow considered harder to pull off being anti-Nazi
Yeah.
in 2025 than it
Well,
was
that's-
10 years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah, because like Wolfenstein for me, they really you're not just like killing mindless soldiers. They make it very clear that you're killing Nazis.
Yeah, like that
You know
they
what I
are
mean?
hateful people.
Yeah, and
Like,
they
you
set
listen
that
to,
up,
like-
with you have
You listen to like two
concentration
soldiers like off in the corner, like when you're doing like a
Yeah.
stealth section, and like this one of the soldiers is like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and torture my daughter," and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
fuck you, dude.
Yeah, but it goes to pass it. Like they genuinely like they're not just like they're bad people.
They're
I
like
think they really put
humanized
it in your
bad
face.
people.
They're like
they are living
humanized
bad
bad
people.
people. Yeah, like you're very aware that these are people, but
Yeah.
you're also very aware that
But
they
they're
are
also
just
evil.
genuinely Nazis.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Right? Like, and I always like contribute that concentration camp mission to that, or like the moon
Yeah.
one. You know what I'm talking about? You get like the numbers and everything, and I think they do it such a good job. Yeah.
yeah. BJ's like contempt when he like scrapes out his tattoo
Yeah.
is a very
Yeah.
moving scene.
It is a very moving scene, right? I think as much as I think Wolfenstein is just there's a lot of stuff in there. Like when you're killing some of the big bad people, like that blonde evil woman or whatever.
Oh yeah, Greta Thunberg.
It's not just like killing another demon in Doom. Like, you know what I mean?
He didn't.
There's what?
Did you hear
Yeah,
me?
I got it. Yeah, it's clicking now.
Engel, yeah, Frau Engel is her real name.
Yeah. But it's like it's not just like killing another soldier. There's like something behind it.
Yeah.
And I think Doom
How-
does a very good job at pressing that issue.
How did we get to Wolfenstein? We're in the middle of a Gears of War 2 speedrun.
Because Andy Pants. We went from Andy Pants
Oh,
to Wolfenstein. Yeah, which makes total sense.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
let's get back to the speedrun.
Yeah, then we'll pick up on Nazis. and
Can either pick up our shield that we used to jump over, or we can kill the Mauler in the dusty street and grab his. Either way, once we have a shield, we can plant it through the fallen column and jump through, just like we've been doing.
See, but that makes
Like other
sense to me,
skips so
like, the
far,
game
though,
mechanically,
we're
a
going
lot
to
of the
reuse
stuff
that
makes
shield
sense to
here
me.
in a moment. First,
Yeah.
we'll run down to the edge of the construction area. If we drop down from the ledge, we won't be able to climb back up, so our shield is gone for good. However, if we stay on top and do a series of precise rolls, we can hit the checkpoint trigger to load the next area without falling down. Once we've done that, we now turn around and run all the way back to our shield. This time, the majority of the previous area is now deloaded, which lets us plant a shield on the side and jump over into the abyss. If angled correctly, we teleport to a much later
Watching
part of
him
the
fall
level,
into the
but due to
void,
the
that's
back-
so funny. Because he just drops so fast.
Well, you know how heavy Marcus is, right? Like that's canonically
what I mean.
how fast he drops.
That's what I mean. He just whoop, he's like gone.
He supposedly benches 6,000 pounds, so he's got to weigh at least like 48,000, right?
What is this?
It's-
Whoa.
It's a whole thing. We'll have to get into it after this video.
Okay, yeah, I want to get
Track
into something
slightly
too
ahead
after
of
this
low
video.
trigger.
Just like
Once the
something I
enemies
gotta tell you.
spawn, we're free to finish up the level normally. Now this skips the long sequence of using a crane to carry Dom across the gap, and several long fights along the way until the floor collapses from the combat. The
Dude,
last
bro,
hit for
bro, so
today
big
is
you
on the
just knocked down
spiral
the
stairs next to the toaster Easter
Yeah.
egg.
That's crazy.
If we line up
I've
our
never
planted
played
shield
Gears
just
before, I
right
don't know
on the
what's
side
going
of
on.
these flaming torches, we can climb up on top of
Like,
them
this just
and
makes
get out
sense
of
to
the
me.
map.
Well,
Once
I've
we're
watched
here,
this
we can
part.
certainly roam around a little bit to explore, but if we simply back up a bit, when the game deloads the area, we can instantly roll
Like,
in
where did
and
the
drop
envi-
down to a lower
He's
level
on stairs?
spiral staircase.
Wait,
This-
but why? He said when it deloads, but like, why does it deload? Is it like if you're too far away from it that the game deloads? The
Yeah,
area?
it's like a game rendering thing, right? You know what I mean? So, like when you get too
guess.
far away, and when you get
Yeah.
in order to like, so Destiny kind of does that, where obviously you drop into an open world.
Yeah.
But as you move around into different sections, the game does like an invisible rendering thing. So if you have a bad enough console or computer, you'll see it'll stop and it'll start
Like,
loading. So that's a render.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I
Yeah.
understand that, like, there's rendering distances and stuff going on, but, like, when you're within the level, I guess I don't know how the game is calculating your distance from the level. You know what I mean? Because, like, you
Yeah.
being 20 feet away from the platform in the air is not that different from you being 20 feet as you, like, move your way down the platform. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the
Yeah,
game...
I think it's...
Like, I'm trying to think in my brain how the game is doing the calculation that you being 20 feet away in the air is so much further away than you being 20 feet away from where you were while
'cause
moving
they
along
can
the
have-
level.
Because in my mind, yeah, it's like there's less stuff in the air than there is in the ground. You know what I mean? So they can
That is
kind of
true,
just deload
yes.
it. You know what I mean? Okay, thank you. Yeah. You know they say there's more planes in the ocean than submarines in the sky.
Yeah.
Um,
That is factual, correct, yes.
that is correct. That is the first factual correct thing.
I guess unless the submarine gets airlifted, but...
Yeah, but like I mean, there's like more crashed planes in the ocean than there are crashed submarines in the sky.
What if...
You know what I mean?
Mr. Beast Challenge, we beat the record of crashed planes to submarines in the air, and we get a fleet of helicopters that lift a bunch of submarines.
we pollute our orbit with submarines.
It doesn't have to be like nuclear grade Navy submarines. It could just
think
be
it
like
does.
the Ocean Gate submarine, which is like what?
No,
That's like a steel tube with doors on either end.
No,
like
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a nuclear submarine, and we put it in orbit, right? So inevitably, it might fall, and when it does, we're dropping a nuke, right?
Well, it's nuclear powered. It's not like it's not like the submarine
put
itself
nukes
is a
in it.
nuclear bomb.
But once if the submarine crashed, would it go boom?
The reactor would overload. It wouldn't explode. Like that's not how nuclear reactors work. Unless
Like,
it is
but I'm
carrying
saying-
nuclear warheads. That's a different
Once if
story.
you're like dropping it from orbit.
What?
Like, okay, so my idea is that we
I don't-
put all of
what's the difference?
we put all of the submarines in orbit.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? Because that's like the highest point we can get them to the point that they stay, right? But like, let's say
Yeah,
this
sure.
nuclear submarine starts coming out of orbit and it's like pointing at, I don't know, Detroit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And everybody's like, oh, submarine's coming down, and like it hits the city. Do you think it would just like blow up, like big bomb?
If it has nuclear warheads,
You-
yeah, probably. If it's
But
just
do you
the
think that's
nuclear
how Fallout
reactor, that's
started?
not how. Do you think the Fallout universe happened when Mr. Beast of Fallout lifted all of the submarines into orbit and then dropped them on Detroit? Is that what you're asking me right now?
That's what I'm asking. I feel like it makes sense, right? Because the Chinese would never do that. Just to be,
They're too efficient for that. They don't care about
Yeah,
the
they-
important questions plaguing our time.
yeah, in Vault Tech, they were just building vaults. So like, why would they be dropping nukes? It only makes sense if it was the American government trying to bomb Detroit.
You know, with this
submarines.
administration, I am inclined to believe you. You know what? I
with
agree. This is
submarines,
my
it
new
makes sense.
headcanon. This is how Fallout started.
I
in the
mean,
orig-
and
in the
on,
beginning.
and on the submarine is
That
is-
nuclear
is-
bomb you
and
see
on
go
the
off at the
submarine is-
beginning of Fallout 4 was a Mr.
Yeah.
Beast submarine.
yeah, and etched in it is notice his bulge, ooh ooh. And that's the that's the nuke that kills us all. Yeah, I think. What do we think, Buster McDunder? Was that too much of a deep cut? My bad. No, was that too far?
Gone too late. Oh, man. Let's continue with the speed run.
Okay.
I was doing Gears of War stuff today specifically, so I wasn't going to be talking about the events of this past week. But there it is.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Skips
I
the
was just
triggers
talking
for the
about
first set of
nuclear
enemies,
submarines,
and if you
bro.
can hit it quickly, it saves a
Yeah.
bit of time. We've been experimenting with ways to instead drop down to the room after the spiral staircase, but we haven't quite worked our way in there just
Yeah.
yet. Speaking of experiments, let's talk about some of the other hotspots for glitch hunting and skip
Dude,
finding.
dude,
In Act
this
3,
guy just
there's a
shot him in
doorway
the
that
neck.
bursts open with a ton of wretches. For some reason, if we
Deep
angle
cut,
a camera
baby.
straight up and dodge roll back, we get
What is happening on my screen?
For some reason,
open with a ton of wretches. For some reason, if we angle a camera
Floating.
straight up
They're
and dodge roll
floating.
back,
So they fly now?
Is that all it takes if you just look into the sky and roll backwards? I'm gonna go try this in my front yard. The fuck?
I'm gonna get a buddy over to come walk outside my house. I'm gonna look up and roll backwards and see if he starts to float.
Oh.
Back, we get teleported to the very beginning of the level. We do end up returning here after the Razor Hill section, so if we could figure out how to hit the right triggers before teleporting back, it might save a ton of time. Unfortunately, the interior of the facility doesn't load correctly after doing the glitch. We found out that when we're passing through here the first time, we can plant a frag to keep some of the area loaded during the back in time glitch, but it hasn't worked on
The back in time glitch.
The Centaur drive.
The thing he's doing with the wretches sends you back to the beginning of the level.
Why would you want to? Isn't that what?
I don't think it's a skip. He's just showing a glitch, and he's like, if it's like a PSA type thing, where he's like, this glitch exists, but we haven't been able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we can figure out how to do the other triggers across the level, and then do this glitch, it cuts off like the entire level.
Okay.
Yeah. But they don't know how to get from point A to point B yet. They just know that it might be possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Driving section is one of the most boring parts of the game. We can
Boring, and it fucking sucks. I hate the Centaur section so much. It's so much bullshit. Okay, we can continue.
Are you balding, by the way?
That hurts so much more than anything else in the entire English language ever could have.
I'm kidding. Your hair looks beautiful. I just want.
No, it's really thin and greasy because I haven't showered. And I need to.
We become Discord mods every day.
Actually,
we become closer to the human
toward the end of
perfection
the
every
outdoor
day.
section
Oh,
to
man.
get kind of out of bounds with the tank. But even though we can get on top of the buildings
Dude, this
on the
guy's
other side,
rolling right now.
we
What
can't
the
seem
hell?
to
I
progress
love
much
these.
further. Maybe there's a secret path we're missing somewhere. At the end of Act 3, when you enter
So whenever we get to the tank section, we have to just drive off every single surface in the level until we figure out how to break it.
Have you seen me drive? I got you.
The tank, what's the Reiko from Mass Effect 1?
Oh boy.
in the underground, there's eventually a 5-minute auto-scroller on the boat. If we can find a way to skip any of this, it's going to be focused on this gunboat that crashes ashore a few moments prior. Getting
we
out of
counting
bounds is
boats
simple
again?
enough. Just walk up to the right of
I
where
see
you
one.
normally cross and hop down. This lets us explore a small area
Okay.
under the boat and a flooded area over to the side. Unfortunately, we need to be going the other way if we want to get out into the open waters. At the beginning of Act 5, when you get to this bridge, if you're quick enough when the gate drops, you can roll through it before the collisions load in. Alternatively, you can get on the edge border and use the columns below to hop down. This is an enormous out of bounds that goes across nearly the entire chapter and has tons of scenic views. As cool as it is, it doesn't seem to lead to any sort of speedrun strat. The end of this chapter is killing the 2 Brumaks at the end, but this glitch skips the set of triggers that would load that fight in. If we were to continue through that level properly and get to the holdout fight, we can use some very tight
What the fuck is
movements to get on top
Cox
of the edge
Wi-Fi?
border
What
and
are you
hop down.
watching?
What?
What the fuck is
Oh,
Cox Wi-Fi? What are you watching?
You're seeing like my bookmarks and stuff. That's the Wi-Fi company.
Oh my bad. Maybe I wasn't supposed to see.
Brother
that. My bad.
is doxing my information and my bookmarks to stream.
I thought you could see that. I'm so for real with you.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Everything from the premium logo down is what they can see.
Okay. He's just watching some weird porn. It's chill.
In the other tab, I happen to have open all of my R34 Hollow Knight furry porn, okay?
Dude,
Leave it be.
you mean insectoid porn? They're not furries.
Whatever, same
They're
difference.
not furries.
I don't
I'm
give
so
a fuck.
sorry.
They've
I
all
shouldn't-
got
I'm so-
holes. Like
I'm so sorry for doxing your cocks.
onto the ground level where the locusts are spawning. After taking care of the initial forces, the Brumaks spawn,
bad.
and while
I thought
messing
we could
around
see
trying
that.
to see if I could frag tag them, this happened. Can you frag tag a Brumak? Ooh, we can try. Wait, if you can, it's like worth it.
This doesn't look like speedrunning. I think he's just killing things, right?
the speed run is like 2 hours and 45 minutes. I assume there are big chunks of the game you still have to play.
Oh, that's. I don't want to do this then.
Deuces!
Where did he go?
So if you run far enough forward, the game unloads, and then the Brumaks, you can get them to walk off the level. That's
That
kind of
makes
cool.
sense to me.
Bitch!
But does it kill them?
I'm not convinced that this is much
Probably.
faster than
They'd
staying up
they'd
top
fall
and
to the
using
borders
heavy
and
weapons that are
they'd
provided to
disappear,
you.
right?
But there are a few places earlier in the level that also let you get out in the same way. Maybe there's a way to combine this with the bridge method. Alright, now there are a few other weird spots that we know about, but of course none of them have actually yielded fruit. If you stuck around this long, you
is, like,
probably enjoyed the
everything
video,
so stupid?
so you might also enjoy the other video about Gears 1 glitches.
Ugh, we're not gonna go through that tonight.
I'm not gonna go through what?
The what do you call it? The Gears 1 glitches and stuff.
Oh, that would be kind of crazy though.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
on,
Maybe
no.
when we try Gears 1 speedrunning.
Also, on my stream, I've been working on a Gears 5 challenge that might interest you as well.
I peaked for 0.0 negative seconds.
But alright, so dudes, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cool. That was very, very interesting to look at. Brumaks were created out of Sarin apes in lore.
What?
It's all over the place. I mean, it may have been the point it may have been the case at one point. Gears 5 tells us that they are native to the Hollow, and then Gears Tactics tells us that they were created by Ukon. So
I forgot about this crazy zoom in. By the way, this is awesome.
the truth, what? My just camera.
What's new in the background? Don't move for a minute.
Just go to the beginning of the stream when I was showing off the new set.
It's a lot of work.
You know what's new in the background?
What? I'm gonna wait for your camera to catch up to whatever fuck ass comments you're making. Wait, what the fuck? You're going up. I'm getting taller. Wait, what the hell? Oh, you have a standing desk. That was the new desk after you broke your setup or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Dude, can you stream
So-
from there actually?
So, guys, this will be the end of the stream tonight. I will see all of you beautiful ladies and animals next Saturday.
I think I'm gonna start. This is crazy. Dude,
This is perfect, splash zone territory right here. I will see all of you beautiful people next
so
Saturday,
can't.
9 p.m. CST. As always, have fun, stay cool, and be
Fuck you.
awesome.
I
I,
mean,
feel like
be
I'm on a
awesome.
roller coaster.
Wrong podcast. I mean, wrong thing.
Coming to you soon, the Fuck You Podcast.
The fuck you podcast.
Woo.
Oh, that's crazy.
All right,
you
that's
look
it.
so tiny right now. You look so short and small. You look like you're going uppies.
I look
Kick
how
me
I
out.
feel.
Oh, dude. Submissive?
Always.
And
Anyways.
cute. Dude.